How did we go from bathtub to battleground?
Gemini on Android, bro. Anything can happen.
Press to create videos.
Only on Android.
TVS Raider, the wicked ride.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Real MVPs are not born. They practice every day. For OP moves on the field and in life.
Duolingo English Test. Proud supporters of dreamers and doers.
Join Google Play Points, the loyalty program that offers you exciting benefits. Now earn points on every purchase. Play more. Level up to gold and platinum. And unlock exclusive rewards.
He was taken too soon.
I told him, lag, we have got Snapdragon 8 series Gen 3. Elite performance, unprecedented 144 FPS, zero stutter and heating.
And yet, he still tried.
A beautiful thing.
Bro, we're about to drop.
Just a second. I need to finish this video.
Ask Gemini on Android, it will give highlights.
Press for key highlights.
Only on Android.
Red Bull gives you wings.
सी गॉड ऑफ 40R के रिडेम्पशन आर्क की हो चुकी है शुरुआत. Medal Esports are preparing to take the Season 4 medal home. Feels like Destro's magnet has finally started pulling off. क्या ओमेगा की टीम का दिख सकता है मेगा कमबैक? Watch BGMS Season 4 live on Jio Hotstar, Star Sports and Nodwin Gaming's YouTube channel daily 5 p.m. onwards.
Impact players reminded us that how one moment can transform the entire match. And today we celebrate more such moments. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to OnePlus Android BGMI Master Series Week 3 and Day number 6. My name is Shadow and joining me on the panel is Phoenix. And Phoenix, since we also have Impact player today as it is a weekend, are you expecting something different today as compared to yesterday?
I think so. I would love to see more Impact players just, performing more better and eventually collecting more points for them to, just qualify on the better half of the table. We all know that the top 4 will eventually, just move forward in the grand finals. That's the best opportunity. That's the perfect opportunity because, first of all, you'll get a lot of time for yourself and for your team to, just eventually bond up and rest and prepare. But for the teams who are also qualifying for the semi-finals, they will eventually get 2 more days for themselves. But for those teams who are still stuck in that playoffs department, they need to patch themselves up and move forward and think that at least they can swap their position with the teams who are in a comfortable spot.
Well, definitely, it is true. Few teams are fighting for the grand final slot because only the top 4 teams will be moving directly into the grand finals. 8 to 12, they'll be moving somewhere in the semi-finals. So being in the top 12 is also going to be really important. But let's have a look at what really happened yesterday as in the very first match. We saw that how the teams were prepared and excited as the new Impact players were coming in. But in the very first Erangel, we witnessed few drop clashes, few exciting plays also coming in and few comebacks as RNTX. They went against the players of Team Orion and that fight actually went in the favor of RNTX. Later on, it was a BS versus Meta NINZA, a complete chaotic fight around the ferry pier. And that fight, I think, was really important for the players of VS as well.
Yeah, eventually in the final stages, we just saw that mighty Los Hermanos managed to get the chicken dinner in a very interesting fashion. Fierce was really not happy, and Sensei had a really interesting conversation with his known teammates, and especially with teams too, a bit angry. But in the starting phase, we just saw TWOB managed to finish off the players of Marcus Gaming. Soul and FS managed to just opt for a fight in between. Reckoning opted for a third party and getting some more finishes. But eventually, we just saw a Reckoning showcasing some good signs of life and also trying to eliminate the players of Team Revenant X-Path. But Crore with a very comfortable fashion, they managed to steal away the chicken dinner from Likitha Esports and Orangutan.
If meet Miramar, we saw Reckoning getting 7 finishes in the power play itself. That means 14 extra points. In the third match also, Paradise Resort was so chaotic. 6 teams out of 16 were in the city of Paradise Resort. God's Rain were the first to be eliminated, but 4TR, they stepped up majorly in this one. Came out unscathed, alive with all the 4 players and too many points in their hand. But it was eventually Global Esports, because of the good rotation, that they were able to steal the winner chicken dinner.
In the fourth match, we just saw Mad Kings going mad against the players of 4TR, but still getting eliminated. But we just saw Jatin pulling off an incredible 1v2 against the players of NINZA. CDR also maintaining and confirming the players of Revenant X-Path and taking their bounty for themselves, and eventually Team Soul getting the chicken dinner for them in the final map in the yesterday. But if we talk about this particular leaderboard, shout out the difference between the team who is on the 5th position. That is going to be NoNx, by the way. What a clear jump if we compare their performance from the first week to this particular situation. It is really incredible the amount of points they have collected.
In the previous week or in the week 1, if you remember, they were at the bottom 5.
Yeah.
And now they are in the top 5. A great jump from the side of NoNx, especially Viper, Anonymous. The entire team of NoNx has stepped up majorly. Yes. Viper always comes with the cheeky plays, those 100 IQ plays that eventually lands a victory for the players of NoNx Esports. But where NoNx is stepping up, there are a few teams who are also stepping down, just like the players of Genesis. There was a time when Hunters was going for the 1v4 clutches, getting those chicken dinners. Genesis were looking untouchable in the leaderboard. But now, because of the inconsistencies coming on the board, Genesis is now sitting on the 6th spot. Same goes for the players of Hero Extreme Godlike as well. Not the consistent performance, and Global Esports, despite having 6 chicken dinners, they are sitting on the 8th spot. But these teams are safe. If not in the grand finals, at least they will qualify in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
But VS, MyG, K9 Esports, Team Aryan, they need to step up their game.
They certainly need to step up their game as soon as possible. Victorious Summers, not a huge difference against players of 4TR, 11 more points, and then you can instantly jump, but there's a huge difference between you and Crore Rippers. But the players on the 3rd page, the party is kind of one-sided for you, and it seems the difference between you and especially, look at Marcus Gaming, 326, and TWOB, a 90 points difference between the players who are, and the team who is on the 17th position and the 24th position. But Shadow, once again, what I think is alright, the middle pack is actually making sure that they will, get the major chunk. The top pack is also doing the same thing because they have to maintain that top 4 spot, and then we just look forward with the 5th to the 12th position. To be honest, today's game, you can expect that some early fights will favor the teams who are on the 3rd page and the 2nd page, but still the chicken dinner might get once again secured by the teams who are on the 1st page.
You know what, Shivansh? I completely not agree with you.
I agree. I have expected that.
The thing is, yes, chicken dinner is definitely going to give you 10 extra position points. But when you have got the bounty teams on the table, impact player and the power play, it is not necessary that you have to go for the chicken dinner. You can go for the bounty hunting. You can go for the impact player, finish points extra in the power play itself. And that can reward you with more than 40 to 50 points, which we have seen the players of Genesis also get 50 points in a single game. So if you are going for that sort of a play, there is no need to go for the chicken dinner. Just go for the finish points, go for the bounty hunting, and even the bottom team can propel themselves in the leaderboard.
But as you just mentioned, right, Genesis had done that in the past.
Yeah.
But where they are now, they're not in the top 4, and that is the problem. They have to get those chicken dinners.
Eventually qualifying for the
They
semi-finals.
are eventually qualifying for the semi-finals, but once again, the main point is if you are in the top 4, you're in the comfortable spot. All right, that's a incredible banter, and I would love to just continue that. But for now, we are expecting a banter on stage. Surain got 2 more players, but who are they? Let's check that out and straight head towards Surain.
लगभग 5 साल के लिए लोग कहते थे मान्या और नकुल. अब लोग कह रहे हैं मान्या वर्सेस नकुल. 5 years you both played together. अब आप ग्लोबल के IGL हैं, आप सोल के IGL हैं. सबसे पहले लेट्स जस्ट गो बैक इनटू अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ हिस्ट्री. आप दोनों लिटरली राम लखन की तरह थे, राइट? भाईचारा तो हमेशा बना रहेगा. बट जब आपको पता लगा दैट नॉट ओनली इज ही एग्जिटिंग सोल बट ऑल्सो उनकी जो कुर्सी थी IGL की उस पर अब आपको बैठना है एज अ यंगर ब्रदर, व्हाट डिड यू फील?
लाइक मुझे ऐसा था कि मान्य जहाँ भी जाएगा अच्छा कर ही लेगा. मुझे इस पर पूरा ट्रस्ट था. अभी भी अच्छा कर ही रहा है नई टीम बना के भी. तो लाइक ऐसा ही है कि भाईचारा तो रहेगा ही.
और जब मान्य की टीम ही आपको एक बैटल में एलिमिनेट कर देती है और चिकन भी उठा लेती है और वो कहता है कि यार मुझे तो बहुत खुशी हुई थी कि मैंने सोल को एलिमिनेट किया है, तब भी वही इमोशन रहते हैं?
हाँ, लाइक अच्छा ही लगता है कि नई टीम बना के अब अच्छा खेल रहा है. तो भाई एक मतलब भाईचारे वाली बात ही है. अच्छा लग रहा है.
राइट मान्या, ऑब्वियसली दिस मस्ट बी बिटर स्वीट. शायद इसके बारे में आपने बात भी की होगी, मे बी नॉट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द कैमरा, ऑफिशियली आपने बात नहीं की होगी, बट आई जस्ट वांट टू नो, जिस टीम को आपने BGMS की ट्रॉफी दिलाई, जिताई, उनकी ट्रॉफी कैबिनेट में एक वो चमचमाती ट्रॉफी है, एंड देन यू हैव टू एग्जिट द टीम फॉर व्हाट एवर रीजन. वो चुभती है बात?
नहीं, ठीक है, कुदरत का दस्तूर है, बदलाव ही जीवन है.
अरे भाई साहब, बड़ी वाली लाइन बोल, ये तो कोर्ट वाली बात बोल दी. ऑलराइट, लिसन, अब जरा जो हो रहा है इस टूर्नामेंट में उसकी बात कर लेते हैं. आपकी टीम जो है वो टॉप 4 में है, बट वी नो दिस टूर्नामेंट इज फुल ऑफ स्पीड ब्रेकर्स. कभी भी बम्प आ सकता है. यू कुड कंप्लीटली वेयर ऑफ द रोड, आप ड्रिफ्ट कर जाएंगे. यू वरिड अबाउट दैट? या आपको लग रहा है कि अब 4 में हमने जगह बना ली है, हम फाइनल्स तक जा ही रहे हैं?
लाइक वरिड तो नहीं, ऐसा है कि कल हमने काफ़ी चिकन थ्रो किए हमारे, बट आज हमारे जो लास्ट 2 मैच हम पूरा ट्राई करेंगे कि चिकन कन्वर्ट करें हम एंड तक और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पॉइंट ले सकें ताकि हम टॉप 4 में रहें.
मेरा एक भाई है, वो तो ऐसे बहुत सारे हमें नगमे दे चुका है. डेस्ट्रो ऑफ गॉड्स रेन, वो कहता है कि यार हमें ना टॉप 4 में जाना ही नहीं है बिकॉज हम घर नहीं बैठना चाहते, हम होटल नहीं बैठना चाहते, हम खेलते रहना चाहते हैं बिकॉज दैट इज व्हाट मैटर्स.
सही बात है. लाइक टॉप 4 आना मतलब बहुत लंबा ब्रेक हो जाएगा. सेमीफाइनल खेलना सही होगा क्योंकि उसका फॉर्मेट भी ईजी है. 12 टीम तो क्वालिफाई हो ही जाएगी. टॉप 12 नहीं आओगे तो जीतोगे कैसे?
आप लोगों की टीमें आउटसाइड द अरीना ज्यादा खबरें बटोर रही हैं. आपके लाइनअप के बारे में कुछ सुनने को मिल रहा है दैट मे बी द लाइनअप इज चेंजिंग. आर यू एबल टू फोकस ऑन द टूर्नामेंट एट द वर्क एट हैंड?
हाँ, कर पा रहे. उसमें क्या है, लाइक पहले भी ऐसा हुआ है कि चेंज होने वाला है बट टीम अच्छा करके जीती है, तो इतना कुछ चेंज बड़ा रीजन नहीं है वो कुछ.
विक्टोरिया सुमस, बहुत सारी बातें उनके साथ भी चल रही है. एज एन IGL, अननेसेसरीली जब आपको इन कंट्रोवर्सीज के बीच में खेल भी खेलना होता है, इज इट ईजी?
लाइक ऐसा अभी तो हमारा पूरा फोकस BGMS पे ही है और इसके बाद जो इवेंट होगा उसके बाद उसका देखा जाएगा. जो भी चल रहा है अभी इतना फोकस नहीं हमारा बाहर की चीज़ों पे, गेम में हमारा ध्यान है अभी पूरा.
पोकर का खेल चल रहा है, पत्ते कोई नहीं दिखाने वाला, सब लोग करने वाले हैं यहाँ पे. ग्लोबल Esports ऑन 8, दे आर इन द टॉप 4. आज शायद कहानी जो है वो बदल सकती है. हु नोज? ऑल मैचेस ऑन द OnePlus 13. वी कम बैक आफ्टर दिस ब्रेक.
What's the cheat code, bro?
No code.
So, a script then, or a bot?
No script.
Alright, class, for today's lesson.
I already taught her something.
Unlock BGMI's new gold spin starting at just 10 UC. Limited time offer on Google Play.
How did we go from bathtub to battleground?
Gemini on Android, bro. Anything can happen.
Press to create videos.
Only on Android.
TVS Raider, the wicked ride.
Real MVPs are not born. They practice every day. For OP moves on the field and in life.
Duolingo English Test. Proud supporters of dreamers and doers.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Unlock BGMI's new gold spin starting at just 10 UC. Limited time offer on Google Play.
He was taken too soon.
I told him, lag, we have got Snapdragon 8 series Gen 3. Elite performance, unprecedented 144 FPS, zero stutter and heating.
And yet, he still tried.
A beautiful thing.
The only thing which is constant is the change, and Mana has definitely made the statement that change is something you should always be prepared for. But now the teams are also ready to change the position in the overall ranking. What are you expecting in the very first Erangel, as now Group A will be playing all the 4 matches?
This is going to be a really interesting day for the players of team, obviously for Group A, because once again they can maintain their consistency and they can even perform better in every single map. But if you want to perform better in every single map, you want to perform outstanding whenever you play, whatever map you play, you should check out the OnePlus CE 120 FPS gaming shadow. Can you imagine, like, once again, smooth gaming, that's what OnePlus CE offers. Monster battery, you can just continue your gameplay. 7100 total mAh and segment's biggest VC cooling. So, you know what? In heated movements, you can get heated up and you can actually, just talk about, yeah, my mind is not cold and I am gonna talk to my teammates, but your phone, your device, OnePlus CE will definitely remain cool and you can easily enjoy more games. But for now, if we talk about the players of IG Los Hermanos, players are praying and they know that it is really important for them to climb up the ladder as soon as possible.
Well, I think MyG has been doing pretty great things recently, because previously there were a few inconsistency and struggles. But if you remember yesterday, the team who was super consistent in the map of Sanhok was 4TR. They dropped in towards the side of Paradise Resort, where we had God's Train and Mad Kings. They did manage to eliminate Mad Kings and God's Train. But after that, 3-4 more teams were also present in the city of Paradise Resort, and I think 4TR, what they delivered in that game is definitely a great performance, because of course they are playing on the OnePlus devices, so they are not going to settle for anything less than the top 4 position. But someone else who is also trying for the top 4 spot are the players of 8-bit. 8-bit is the only team, Shivansh, which has got 2 bounty teams eliminated, which eliminated 2 bounty teams in a single match.
That's a incredible way.
And despite that, they are not in the top 4.
That is the thing. Because once again, if you know that you have done something which is really very difficult for other players, for other teams, but you are able to do that in just one game, collecting not even 1 but 2 bounties. So that's the way you should, just move forward with the game itself. But Shadow, once again, it's kind of looking good and decent at the same time for the players of 8-bit. They're not that far behind, but for the players of Victorious Summers, they have to, just collect as many points as they can in the first map itself, because the difference between them and the team who is on the 12th position is going to be 4TR. I think so it's around, 10 to 18 points, something like that, but not so much. You can easily convert and get and achieve that total point in just one game if you can able to just collect the points in the power play.
Mana is the guy who has lifted trophy on the very same stage, but now they are on the struggling side. But for now, the first map of the Erangel is about to start, and who will reign supreme? Who will come on the top? Who will go against those bounty teams is a main question, which will soon be answered. But the big blue bird has already hit the sky. Match 77 Erangel. The flight path is going all the way from the side of Primos towards Severny.
The flight path is looking good. Comparatively to the morning matches, Shadow, the flight path is actually very good, to be honest. Yeah, it is a little bit tilted towards the western side of the map, but still, to be honest, you can work your way around this particular map itself. But Where the circle will form, that is going to be the next position. Where will be the first circle will just provide the covers and obviously the first sense of safety to all those players who just dropped a little bit early. Team Hero Extreme Godlike. Every single team is just keeping an eye onto them because they are also looking forward to enter in the top 4.
Everyone wants to make it to the grand finals, but there are few teams who wants to go to the playoffs and play the semi-finals. So, to each to his own. God's Train, Destro has always made it very clear that he wants to play the semi-finals and then qualify for the grand finals. Whereas, when I had a talk with Punk and Jonathan, they were very clear that we want to be in the top 4 and qualify directly for the grand finals. But for now, Hero Extreme Godlike is also taking a split drop towards the side of Crore and Primorsk. And we also have got the players of Phoenix Esports in the city of Primorsk. Phoenix has been the one on the struggling side. Wait a second, what was he trying to do? Hero Extreme Godlike, you can't do that. You can't literally punch the player in the vehicle.
That was a dagger, Shadow. That was a headshot, by the way, by a dagger.
Yeah.
And that's why Urchit, he just have only, 10% of his HP. That was a really, really incredible move by none other than but the players of Team Hero Extreme Godlike. Archit is now running so that he can just save his life. And I think so that was God Z able to just pull that move out. But it's a fight for Primorsk. It's a fight to who will take control of this particular city. The circle is a little bit far away from this particular city, Primorsk, but you are completely close to your opponents.
Jonathan is the impact player of this week. And of course, he has been delivering good performance in the previous week as well. So, big things are expected from the side of Jonathan, and he gets an initial knock towards the side of Goten, a player from the side of Phoenix Esports who is very good in those 1v1 fights.
Quick knock.
Him being knocked out is not a good news for the players of Phoenix Esports. They have to go for the revival, but Jonathan is keeping a close eye on to Goten, and revival is going to be a bit difficult in this situation.
But I think so you can still try to pull that move off. You can still try to just revive your teammate, because if you don't do that, 2 things will happen. First of all, you will lose out your player a very early stage of this map. And one more thing, and that is the players of Team Hero Extreme Godlike, the impact player, will able to collect 1 more point. Especially they will able to get at least 1 point in the power play itself. Jatin managed to knock down 1 player with his DBS. The fuel can right in front of him bursted out so that he can just dish out some more damage, bought some more time for himself. Phoenix Esports fighting back.
Of course, they are fighting back and they are going for the revival onto Goten. And Goten has to be back up on his feet because he's the one who always gets the opening frag onto the opponent teams. But Hero Extreme Godlike, since they had a split drop, 2 players towards the side of Crore, and now they had to regroup. And they're forcing a fight against the players of Phoenix and Goten. This is why I said he needs to be back on his feet, because as soon as he was back in the game, the first player he takes down is the impact player of Hero Extreme Godlike, that is Jonathan himself.
Jonathan, now he needs that revival. Hero Extreme Godlike barging into this compound, into this barn house, but nah, I don't think so that he will get a revival. Jonathan has been confirmed. The impact player has been confirmed instantly. The grenade has been lobbed by Admino. Some amount of damage had been dished out by this lad. Admino also getting some shots from outside of this compound, outside from this barn house. That's none other than Ash, the Igel himself. Bring some more bullets. Archit, apologies. Hermano knows where the player was, and now they are playing with 1-man loss. It's really incredible how Phoenix managed to take control of this fight. Punk, despite of the fact he has very less HP, still managed to barge in. About to get the knock, but Godzi once again getting knocked out. Jatin making the impossible and clutching out the whole squad. What a play by Phoenix. Jatin, he was the impact player in Hero Extreme Godlike before the even start. That was the end for them.
Oh my god. Hero Extreme Godlike completely dismantled by the players of Phoenix Esports. First it was Jonathan, and after that individual fights were given to Jatin and Goten. They had no utils, Hero Extreme Godlike, no grenades, nothing at all. They just directly went in for a 1v1 duel, and that is where Phoenix Esports shined. But for now, we also have got the players of Genesis in the close proximity, and Phoenix, they are not aware about the players of Genesis at all. Yash, from the rooftop angle, and finally the spray goes in, and Goten once again gets knocked out. And let me remind you, this is a second knock, and Goten will bleed out pretty easily, but seems like Yash gets a better out of him.
Yeah. Just collecting him and collecting a point too. On the other side, we can see Atankin Visgod is there. Visgod just pointing on to his teammate and saying, yeah, he's the one why we are here. But Orangutan is not playing in this particular map, so they're just enjoying from the sidelines. And Shadow, that's a other way to just enjoy the map, right? You're just looking at your competition, doing some things. The fun fact is, both the groups who are playing in this particular match, Group A and Group C, not even a single team is in the bounty. They're not in top 4, so that's a reality check. All the 4 teams who got the bounty on their head are from Group B. So that sums up the ruthlessness as well as the deadliness of that one particular group, Group B it is. But meanwhile, you lost Go10, you still have Jatin. 2 frags each. Phoenix Esports managed to collect, they collected what, 8 to 10 points, I think, so 12 something.
Yeah.
Because Jatin managed to secure 2 frags of his own. So that sums up to 4 more points per frag. But once again, 1,000 meter away from the circle, Team Genesis, they are trying to, just make sure that at least they will try to pull out the players who are hiding inside these compounds so that they can collect those frags.
Well, of course. Yesterday also I did mention the fact Genesis, they struggle in the rotation from the side of Quarry. But for now, in the city of Primos, they have the numbers advantage, and finally they decide to close in, and Ash from an off angle comes in and instantly flushes out Zap. Even Hunters has taken a hefty blow, down to 10 HP. Genesis, they were looking so strong, but these off angles which the players of Phoenix Esports are holding on to is becoming a problem for Genesis. One by one, they are also falling down. But for now, Ash, he needs to patch himself up. Taken down pretty low. Hunter's position already compromised, but is a DBS which is waiting on the other side for Hunters if he actually pushes in the compound.
Meanwhile, OnePlus K9, they are also engaging in a fight against the players of Team AX, Team Aryan. That is, in Aryan, they are on the receiving edge. Hunters got the impact player title on his head, lobbing a grenade, missing its mark because the player is not in sight on the top side of this barn house. Hunters, he doesn't even have any type of first aid kit. He has only 25 bandages. Jatin, hiding, jumping around, saving himself. He needs that support. Meanwhile, Reckoning, they are also getting knocked out by the players of Mad Kings. Jatin once again dodging a grenade. This man is surviving, and Hunters has been dropped down onto his knees because Jatin is fighting back. Shadow, this fight is going in favor of the players of Team Phoenix. Jatin once again fighting back, but fortunately, the players of Genesis Esports took control of that and managed to knock out Jatin. You're still fighting inside this blue zone, 2,000 meters away from the circle.
Oh no, it's a blue. Dishing out a lot of damage to the players of Phoenix Esports because they had no time to go for the loot. It was a drop clash against Rex Team Godlike, and the minute they eliminated the players of Godlike, it was Genesis knocking on their doorsteps. So they do lack those healings, those extra resources. Ash still asking for the rescue mission, and seems like it's the play zone which will eventually take down the players of Phoenix Esports. But looking at the circle, we have a complete central shift. School apartments, school farm are still in the contestation. 8-bit all the way towards the side of Pochinki, VS maintaining that southern control. Even the players of True Rippers are also looking promising, but towards the northern side is where we have the cluster. K9, Team Aryan and Maiji Los Hermanos. 3 teams trying to traverse from the northern front, and there is a very high chance that they can collide with each other. But the problem is for Phoenix Esports. It's only Archet with 5 bandages remaining.
They just collected, 5 total finishes, and they managed to topple down once again. They thought they will topple down the players of Likitha Esports, but I don't think so. That will happen anytime soon because Archet, he has just only 1 bandage left in the backpack. Spots out the players of Genesis, but can't do much from here. Meanwhile, Reckoning, it takes an exit from this position. Seems that was the end for that particular team. Meanwhile, Mad Kings can also engage in a fight against the players of 4TR. This is really interesting. You can see that right inside of the screen, right in corner of your screen. Archet, meanwhile, getting spotted out because he revealed his own position. S12K being fired onto him, still dodging all those bullets. But 4TR, Iron of God, cooking up a grenade, knows where the player is. Mad Kings, they just lost one of their players, and Iron of God making sure that it will increase. And Mad Kings, they takes an exit. Team 40R collecting more points in the power play. The power play ended, but they managed to collect some more points. 3 finishes in total.
Oh no. True Rippers barging into the compounds of Metal Esports, where we have only 2 players, that is Altu and Termi. Termi in a 1v2 situation, Altu also in a 1v1 battle against one of the player of True Rippers, that is Hush. Termi 5 do manage to get 1, but Kyolama was there to eliminate him. Easy flush, but finally the cavalry is coming in and Kyolama has been knocked out, looking for the confirmation point as well, and Kyo has been eliminated, the elimination point secure. Jelly also going down. One by one, the players of True Rippers are falling down. This is not looking good. Aimbot stepping up majorly in the situation, but even the players of Medal have suffered casualty. It's only 2 players remaining, and for Hush, it's a 1v2 situation now.
Grenade could do the job, but the S12K is the answer. Medal takes down the players of Team True Rippers. They thought that they can take control of this compound. They can snatch the safe area from the side of Medal Esports, but they were completely wrong. Medal fought back, and now they have to be prepared for another fight, because OnePlus K9 Esports, it seems they are also interested in these compounds. They heard those fights, they heard those bullets being fired, they heard those shotguns. But Shadow, once again, 25 seconds on the clock, and then you will move towards the circle. That's a weird slam in onto your own teammate's vehicle. But they are also moving towards the safe zone. MyG Los Hermanos got a very, very good space in the circle. Global Esports and the Death Smack center of the safe zone. Likitha Esports managed to take control of the safe zone too. Victorious Summits also taking control of the southern side. So a lot of the teams got the good control. But now, Genesis, I don't know how and when they will enter in the safe.
Oh my god. True Rippers messing up big time, Shivansh, in that fight. It was only 2 players from the side of Metal Esports, but Aimbot having that off angle, getting 3 out of 4 finishes onto the plus of True Rippers. True Rippers is one of those teams who needs to focus on the consistency, because they are sitting on the 12th spot with 379 points. And if they're inconsistent, they might have to go into the playoffs. And that won't be a good news, because in a single day, you have to play all the matches and qualify for the semi-finals. That adds an extra pressure. If you notice, the players of 4TR also against the players of Mad Kings. Mad Kings is one of those teams which is actually struggling in those 4v4 fights, if you notice.
Yeah,
they were not able to take down even a single player from the side of 4TR. It was a easy flush for Mad Kings.
But now 40, they're on the receiving edge, because MyG Los Hermanos spots out Morty out in the open, and that's going to be a run over finish by none other than Shadow. But Shadow, 40R, they technically eliminated 2 Shadow from this server.
Yeah.
First of Mad Kings, and the other one is of, MyG Los Hermanos.
Yeah.
They have to do that.
It was only 2 players, not the entire squad though.
But Shadow, your name is also Shadow, so I have to ask that. Do you think the circle will move or take a hard shift towards the northern side, or it will favor the players of Global Esports?
I don't know where the circle will go, but if you ask me where I want the circle to go, I want it to be a Pochinki.
What?
Not the Pochinki city, but the Pochinki Potato Hill final circle.
Oh, alright.
It is going to be so chaotic. Because
you had me in Pochinki.
No. Of course, the circle can't go Pochinki. Pochinki is already out.
Yeah, I wanted it northern side.
Oh no,
I said it.
This is going to be so chaotic, because if it is a school or the apartment final circle, grenades, molotovs, we might see so many players just holding on to one corner of the school apartments.
It's going to be really annoying.
It is
hella annoying to play in that circle, but that's make the circle more, crazy and also interesting to watch. But let's see. Potato Hill is still in this contestation, Shadow, and you can see Global Esports, the split. They have to instantly regroup, otherwise they can face the brunt. But maybe I was too early. Manya managed to take down one IGL versus another, and Manya was the better one in that situation. And they took control of this particular dip near the apartments.
Out in the open, the players of 8-Bit and Global Esports did collide, and yes, Global Esports was able to take one from 8-Bit. But K9 going up against the players of Medal. K9, they do have the numbers advantage, and if they do take the control of these school apartments, it can actually be a good game for the players of KNN in terms
Beautiful.
of the position points as well. But 4TR wanted to be a part of this fight. A single grenade from the side of Omega marks an end of the entire team of 4TR. They were unprepared for this grenade. It was a preemptive one, and Omega did capitalize on the information.
They didn't even realize what just happened because they thought they can just easily slam in inside this compound, and Omega was just pre-cooked grenade, and it was for some other team. But that was just a very unlucky slam. And meanwhile, Likitha Esports, they are also in a very bad situation right now because Maiji lost Hermanos. The players are pinning them down outside the circle. They have to move, and they have to make moves as soon as possible. Otherwise, they might face a heavy amount of damage from the blue itself. 8-bit and Victorious Summers can also collide, but what a spray by Kalon. Magic got knocked out instantly. 1 minute 30 on the clock. And Smoker, he also got dropped down from his moving vehicle. All the spy, he had a taste of his own medicine. Got knocked out, but still it's not over. Likitha Esports fighting back, Shadow.
Likitha Esports also needs to focus on the consistency, and for now they both are fighting for the western edge of the circle control, where Maiji, they are on a very low HP, especially Spy, a single grenade, and finally Spy has been eliminated. But Kalan, one of the guys from the side of Maiji, has shown heroics in the past, but this time he won't be able to do anything. Instantly knocked out. Should be an easy finish point secured for the players of Likitha Esports. But Likitha, they have also taken a major blow. It's only 2 players remaining from this side, and they have to prioritize the rotation. But VS out in the open against 8-bit. Trades happening back and forth. 2 players down from the side of VS. It's only Mafia and an easy flush by Raiden. VS once again losing on those 4v4 fights. They need to amp up their aggression, but 8-bit, they were not prepared for the players of Global Esports. Raiden has been knocked out. Even Beast also goes down, and Global Esports, now they have the entire southern control to themselves.
And they eliminated the team of 8-bit entirely, because you just saw Manya was the one who knocked out and eliminates Som in the first early fight near that dip, and eventually the whole squad of Team Global Esports shuts down the players of Team 8-bit. But Likitha Esports Smoker, he has a grenade in his hands, not close at all, but counter grenade from Maiji Los Hermanos could work. Smoker once again repositioning himself, tanked a lot of damage, climbed into the compound, repositioned once again. Smoker, he has a Bison and an AUG. He caught one of his teammates, providing him some cover. Exo it is, and now he is also slamming in inside this compound. It's going to be a really, really interesting fight because they have only 20 seconds to finish this off as soon as possible. Zyrex on the other side, still fighting, still surviving, but FS Codex, whoa, he got eliminated by a vehicle explosion. That's not good. Zyrex with a drop, spotted out, takes down one, about to get the second.
Zyrex stepping up majorly, but he's the only man standing. And we have the entire team of Likitha Esports in front of him. Can he actually deal with the entirety of Likitha Esports? It's only one last player, seems like. Smoker, Nate's being locked. Blue is also closing in, and finally, it is Spraygod, a third party coming in from the side of Global Esports, which marks an end for Likitha. But Zyrex, the biggest challenge for him is the blue and the rotation inside the circle, because now Global Esports is where about the position where Zyrex is. But look at the circle. Towards the north, we have the players of Team Aryan, Team K9, and Medal and FS. But Global Esports,
we forgot to heal! Oh no, Zyrex! You forgot to heal! How can you do that? Oh, Shadow.
seems like he
I don't know what that means, but
prioritize the rotation, seems like.
Oh my god.
Few questionable decisions are there from the side of Global Esports as well.
Yeah.
Mane all by himself. Troy somewhere else. All the 4 players of Global Esports are in 4 different directions.
They were doing this from from the second zone itself, right?
Yeah.
You pointed that out. So I think so. That was their game plan by the end of the day. But it's not working out. We lost Mania. Still got 3 more players. Spray got the impact players still surviving, and now they're pinning down the players of Team Aryan. Look at the spread. It's kind of helping them because you are peppering down all those grenades from one direction, Adi, and Spray God was also doing the same thing from a different direction. So it is in your favor, and now Spray God shifting his crosshair to some other team, and that is none other than the players of Genesis. Now they have to make a move inside the circle. Adi making sure that he can create some more space and some more room with a smoke gun. Once again, spotting out the players of Team Genesis is going to be the priority, and they can easily knock them down, by the way. But Spray God found himself on the receiving edge now. Beast shuts him down for now, but I don't think so that he will be able to finish the player off, because the survival instinct of this lad is really good. He already got a cover for himself.
Even the survival instinct for the players of FS is also very strong, because if you notice, they do have a good spot in the circle. Genesis, who is maintaining the complete southern eastern periphery control of the circle. Global Esports towards the south. Team Aryan is also towards the southwestern side of the circle. But Team Aryan, all the three players are in three different directions. Henry all the way towards school, the remaining players towards south, but finally the circle takes a southern shift, and Sarex deals with not just one but two players of Global Esports. This is what I was saying. Yeah. If you're maintaining such a huge split, even if a knock comes in, the estimation will be almost next to impossible, and Global Esports players are falling down one after other.
Ninja Boy managed to take down one player in Troy. The finish has been confirmed by devotee Cyrax. Impact player. He's going to make sure that he can collect some more points now. Global Esports, the final player is none other than Adi. Meanwhile, a fight being panned out between the players of OnePlus K9 versus Metal, Venom and Aimbot. The two final players from Metal. They're still surviving Shadow. They got 402 points, 2 more, and they can easily topple down the Team 8-Bit, who was in the server, but faced an elimination in an early phase. But Beast also joins this fray, and he has a grenade. Venom, look at him running for his life. And Omega from the distance throws a molly, and Beast might end this whole game now for the players of Team Metal. And yep, that was the end. K9 Esports really, really angry now.
K9 Esports, finally a good game coming in from their side. Metal has been eliminated on the 6th spot, but 5 teams remaining, 6 finishes toward the side of K9. And they have the entire northern control of the circle as well. We also have the players of FS towards the north. But if the circle takes a northern shift, I think K9 can benefit heavily. It can actually be a winner-winner chicken dinner game for them. Towards the west, we have got Adi, and so close to the players of Team Aryan, Henry is even aware about the position of Adi.
Yeah.
Maybe he is. Yes, he is aware. And finally, a jump shot. And Adi, this is the moment he can actually go up against Henry, because he is very low on the HP. And finally, Adi strikes hard and takes down Henry. But it is also the players of K9 coming in towards the side of Adi. And finally, a Molotov coming in. The smoke has been deployed, but can actually Adi pull this off?
I don't see that happening. Adi is just burning. He's taking a hell lot of damage, but still managing, still surviving. Omega got knocked out. Adi fighting back, retaliating back, and finishing off the whole squad of OnePlus K9 with the help of the players of Team Aryan. Unknowingly, they helped him, and now Adi, one grenade in his hand. It might work. No, it will not. Spots out another player, switching to his AKM, retaliating back, but takes down one player. Although, that was the only thing he can do, because the trade was there. Team Aryan, they got the advantage, but Genesis, they heard those knocks. They saw those players going down, and this is their time to strike, because Henry is also bleeding out.
Team Aryan finally doing a third party in such a good fashion. Eliminates the entirety of K9 Esports. It was a single grenade from the side of Cyrex, which took down not just one but 2 players of K9 Esports. And Cyrex is also the impact player of the team. Final 3 teams remaining, where Team Aryan, 3 players alive. Team FS with 2 players. Genesis, they have the majority of the real estate control, but the problem is all the 3 players are at 3 different parts of the map.
That is true. To be honest, that is strange. That was a similar split Team Global Esports was opting for, and they got punished right away, right, Shadow? But Genesis, I think so this might work, because 2 of your players, they got the circle. There's only Hunters, who is outside of that safe zone. 7 finishes already in the back. You can see a slow pace from the side of the players of Team Aryan 2. They are moving inside the circle. Gravity tanking some of the damage. Got spotted out because he was trying his vehicle away. Now they're making things and making sure that they can at least be more prepared for the final ending, for the final fight. Team Genesis understands the play, and Henry smoking out more angles. Meanwhile, FS are also making their way inside the safe zone.
Kind of a stalemate situation where everyone is just waiting for the next circle shift, and after that they will try to go for the fight. Team Aryan, they do have a height advantage, but Roman has been spotted out by Hunters. An instant knock coming in. Should be an easy elimination point also, but Levi trying to go for the rescue mission onto fallen comrade, but it is going to be an uphill task for him. The smoke cover is definitely there, but Levi is on the lower ground and he is spotted on Henry. But a slight vehicle cover is enough to save Henry in this situation. But FS Levi, this lad has performed really good in one of the Sanhok, if you remember, but now he's coming under heavy fire, not just from the side of Team Aryan, but also from the side of Team Genesis as well. This is not looking good for Levi at all, but Team Aryan, even Cyrex has been knocked out from this side.
Certainly did. And the problem is, Shadow, that Levi is the only man and he needs to pull magic. Needs to pull a rabbit out of his hat. Gravity with a very good grenade, but he got spotted out. Both players sharing similar amount of HP because Gravity also tanks some amount of damage. And okay, Gravity healed up, still able to fight. Switch to his SLK, dished out some damage, but he is still surviving behind it. Boulder, but Devotee managed to pin him down and knock him down. Genesis down to only 2 lad. Hunters getting 4 frags for himself, and he is looking solid.
Oh no, Roman has already been spotted out by Yash, but Scarl has got only 2 ammos. That's the major problem for him. FS, they have been eliminated. Now it's only 2 teams remaining. Team Aryan versus Team Genesis. Genesis finally showing signs of life. They have been struggling for a very long time, but Devotee slowly crawling his way towards the side of Yash, and Hunters with a vehicle trying to go for the scouting and get the information onto the players of Team Aryan, but Henry has been knocked out by Yash, but a counter now coming onto Yash.
This is looking solid for Devotee. He spots out Hunters, he knows where the lad is, he knows where the player is. And Team Aryan, this has to be their game. Genesis might lose out another chicken. Hunters getting pinned down by those bullets, and Devotee still continuing his spray. Devotee, and that's the end. Hunters thought that he can surprise the players of Team Aryan, but Team Aryan was prepared for every single battle. What a start for these lads, Shadow. And that's how you can climb up the ladder if you are thinking about it. What an interesting game though. I thought this could be global esports team, but that's completely wrong.
Yeah, global esports, so the major problem was that the spread which they were having didn't entirely work in their favor. But Team Aryan, finally a good game coming in from their side. We have been expecting Team Aryan to step up majorly because if you notice, individual performance were coming in from their side since a very long time. But finally, good rotations coming into the picture, surrounding awareness was there, and finally that winner chicken dinner which they wanted, especially Sarek. This guy was in a role. He's also the impact player of the team, and this guy was doing so much in every single fight.
Good amount of damage, and let's take a look how he managed to just take down the players by taking a look at the final blow. Shadow Genesis. It seems that they were not prepared for this type of retaliation, right? They thought that they could easily shut down the players of the FS, and they did so, but Aryan came as a surprise, especially Devotee calling in and shutting down the final players of Hunters. Yeah, that was an ambitious move, but yeah, we just saw how it ended. But Shadow, we have a lot of things to talk about. We'll talk about that after a very short break.
we're about to drop.
Just a second. I need to finish this video.
Ask Gemini on Android, it will give highlights.
Press for key highlights.
Only on Android.
TVS Raider, the wicked ride.
Real MVPs are not born. They practice every day. For OP moves on the field and in life.
Duolingo English Test. Proud supporters of dreamers and doers.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Join Google Play Points, the loyalty program that offers you exciting benefits. Now earn points on every purchase. Play more. Level up to gold and platinum. And unlock exclusive rewards.
What a start for the players of Team Aryan. Managed to get the chicken dinner in the first game itself. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to BGMS Season 4. My name is Phoenix, saying alongside me, it's going to be the handsome guy itself, Mr. Scared. So Scared, how are you, man?
The laugh eventually told about the blatant lie which you just mentioned. But all right.
It was not a lie.
All right, I'm still going to say that. You know what? I'm going to agree with you that it was actually a pretty solid game of Aryan, right? But also at the same time, I'd have to say that Genesis, on the other hand, after quite a long time, finally they're finding that consistency as well to hop back into top 4.
But to be honest, top 4 is not what I expected, for Team Genesis. I thought that they will get the chicken dinner. I had bigger expectation from them. Because the split they had was really promising. The amount of control on the map they had was really good. And the amount of finishes they had, especially Hunters hunting down every single player he just spotted out, that was phenomenal. But who got the MVP title? Let's take a look after few expectations. Whom do you think will get the MVP title? I think so it's going to be Hunters.
I mean, I think so it's going to be Hunters as well, with the way how he was constantly performing as well, right? Plus, there were so many constant fights that happened all the way throughout that game. Things started off with Phoenix clearing off Godlike as well, and then it kept on moving forward. It was Genesis only who were eventually hunting down the members of Phoenix, but it's going to be Hunters, just as we both predicted. 5 finishes coming in for the man, along with 63% finished contribution. Somewhere around 9 finishes for his team, I'd have to say. Wouldn't really say that that's going to be one of the best games, but it's alright as long as things are good in the hood. Devotee is going to be the man with the most rescues out there. No finisher out. That means, again, the last player of Genesis eventually fell down to the play zone instead of actually falling down to someone else.
Yeah, that's a way you're not giving at least 1 point and possible 2 points, because what if the impact player shuts you down? But let's take a look at the OnePlus never settle movements. Jonathan started off this fight, but he was the first person who takes who end up on the receiving edge, because Jatin knocks him down and the whole squad shuts the Hero Extreme Godlike down in an instant. That was the first elimination. You can see that scare, that how angry they were, and
disappointment,
that was the word I was looking forward to. But Team Aryan were looking so good. Global Esports, I don't know what they were trying to do, right? The split, alright, that was good. On paper, it should have worked, but the way you were taking those fights was actually very weird to witness. And Hunters, how he got eliminated,
overly ambitious split, I'd have to say, coming in from their side. Aryan, again, even after the chicken dinner though, there's still a few choice words being spoken between the player. Now that's interesting to see, because they've got 21 points coming in for themselves. Genesis as well, 20 points, all thanks to the points they eventually got in that power play, along with the position points too. So this is one of the big problems of Aryan, which I'll have to mention, is they do not take a lot of bonus points. It's like the very bare minimum position points and finish points which they eventually play around with. A good game coming in for Phoenix, K9 Esports as well. 8-bit again, 5 to 4 points is what they normally are getting these days. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be enough to keep them up in the top 8 itself as well, or maybe even help them boost up, right? Because Global Esports, they still are sitting on that 8th spot. Oh, gee, finally being pushed out of that top 4.
That is an interesting number though, but 4 chicken dinners for the players of Genesis, and now they are on the 4th position, 486 points in total. 144 bonus points, and that's the number I was looking forward to. Metal Esports already moving up, toppling down the players of Team 8-bit because they had a really bad end in this particular map. OnePlus K9 Esports, yeah, they were looking deadly in this map, right? They were trying to hunt down every single player they spot out, but eventually takes an end and didn't even got the top 4 position. But Mad Kings, you can see the green marker alongside their name, but to be honest, scared. That wasn't the performance I was expecting from Mad Kings. I thought that they could perform well.
Let's be very honest, this has been happening since the start of the event itself, where we've been saying exact same thing, that we are not really expecting this kind of performance from Mad King. They've been constantly facing so many problems for their side. It's been very problematic for them. That I think so. There are so many mistakes which they haven't really been fixing. So that's going to be the main thing, right? But for people out there, there's quite a few things that you might want to give, and that's going to be the Duolingo English test, which is accepted by 6,000 plus universities as well. Make sure you don't make any mistakes there, because if that's going to be the case, you wouldn't really like it. But here's one big thing we'll have to talk about. That is going to happen after the short break. Don't go anywhere.
Gen 3, elite performance, unprecedented 144 FPS, 0 stutter and heating.
And yet, he still tried.
A beautiful thing.
How did we go from bathtub to battleground?
Gemini on Android, bro. Anything can happen.
Press to create videos.
Only on Android.
TVS Raider, the Wicked Ride.
Real MVPs are not born. They practice every day. For OP moves on the field and in life.
Duolingo English Test. Proud supporters of dreamers and doers.
Red Bull gives you wings.
What's the cheat code, bro?
No code.
So, a script then, or a bot?
No script.
Alright, class, for today's lesson.
I already taught her something.
After finally breaking the silence after such a long time, we're going to be jumping back onto the map of Miramar. But right before that, we're going to be having a look at the Deadpool and Wolverine, because they bring you the most wicked ride yet. Featuring the first in segment GTT, Beast Mode, or rather Boost Mode, Piston Class Stock, and a cluster loaded with 85 plus features to keep you connected on the go. This is the new TVS Raider Deadpool Edition. You might not want to miss out on checking on that bike, while the rest of the teams would not want to miss out on checking on this trophy, because Shibu, they would really need to move forward on this map of Miramar to eventually get close to that.
Yeah, this was the only test nobody called me Shibu. And on the Hindi disc, I have 3 names, by the way. It's Shivansh, Phoenix, and then Shivu. And now I thought nobody would call me Shivu on the English test, but thanks a lot, Scared. And now once again, the English audience will also get confused at whom we should text, right? So one of Corey, one of my fan, just asked me, dude, I want to just look at my favorite team's POV. You can do that by the multicam feature. Just go on to Geo Hotstar, hop onto that particular application, tune in, and
hopefully your team stays alive and does not die in the first fight.
To be honest, you got 4
like
teams.
Just like in the previous game, but for now,
alright.
We're going to be focusing on MyG Los Hermanos as well, a team that finally are looking a little bit back in form as well, where they've had another fight with another team, so really love to see that happen too. Now, I want to see Owace and the boys get back on their feet as well, as again, we've got 8-bit ready to roll and rumble, and the plane is ready to soar up high in the sky, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be the map of Miramar, the second game in the OnePlus Android BGMS Master Series Season 4, starting all the way from up north, Torre Ahumada, going down south towards Los Leones and Partona.
An interesting plane path, by the way. If I'm going to compare this plane path from the morning event, morning matches, it's really, really comfortable for these players because it's kind of dividing the map kind of into 2 equal halves, but kind of favoring the players as well as the side, or the eastern side of the map. Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure you're the elder sibling seeing this as the equal half, because definitely the left side has got the more
Major
of the pizza in it.
I know that, but you know what? Have you ever seen the BGCS maps, the Miramar plane paths? You should look onto them. Bro, that is really, really annoying. Sometimes, the plane paths start from Bella de Mar and it end up near Impala. That's it. That was the whole plane path, covering the southern side, just covering 20% of the map.
Have seen that on Erangel yesterday.
Oh my god.
Not 1-2.
And that is happening every single time in every single map.
One thing that doesn't happen every single time out here though, is definitely a drop clash also that is going to happen over a little bit towards La Cobra area.
But Campo Mulita, look at that. Genesis and Team Hero Extreme Godlike, they are also too close to each other. This is going to be a really, really interesting map, by the way. This is going to be really, really interesting fight. But Spray God, he got instantly knocked out by that machete. And now Team Global Esports, they are trying to fight back. But Henry's DBS is the ruthless one. Manya with a pistol. He's not a sheriff in town. It's Zarian collecting 4 frags instantly. And okay, Cyrax, he is angry. He is angry. Global Esports in the previous map, they got major chunk of the points. Kind of good points. But in this particular map, none. 0.
Exactly the one that I was about to say as well. Right down south of Oasis is where this fight happened. And Team Aryan came out unscathed. That's the best part about it, right? Getting 8 points instantly. And then at the same time, you haven't even lost a single member. Now, all of them are going to jump down, move up in their own rotations as well, because the circle is forming all the way towards the south. And you were mentioning about Godlike and Genesis over towards Campo Militar as well. Now, Godlike saw the members of Genesis. They're going to reach first towards those compounds. So they decided to stop midway down south of Campo Militar. They're going to loot all of that area and then they will move south. But here's the big thing. We saw the plane fly path. It was tilted a bit towards the western side as well, or rather towards the eastern side. Now that has eventually led a lot of teams to cluster a bit more towards north. And the circle is absolutely down south.
Yeah.
So a lot of these teams will be rotating in from the northern end.
But the circle is actually annoying for all the teams, as you just mentioned, who are looking forward for the northern side. And SKS for this type of battle, while Dionys is just zooming away from the action, especially from the players of Team OnePlus K9 Esports. It seems these players are actually really, really interesting in those early fights, and they should be, because they need some more points if they are looking forward to be in the top 12, because they are on the 13th spot with 364 points. 11 away from the players of 4TR. But for now, they are also moving towards the safe zone. They are also continuing their rotation. But it seems Team 8-bit, they might find a team right in front of them. And this is going to be really, really deadly. That's none other than the players of Team Metal. Team 8-bit in the previous map takes an end in an early stage. And now the same thing is happening. Team 8-bit getting pinned down by the players of Metal. So re-elimination's already one more player. that is none other than Raiden. He is surviving, but for how long, it's going to be the question. Medal. They just got a surprise gift and it's not even Christmas.
Yeah, at this point, I just have no clue what 8-bit is trying to pull. They're just doing some random shenanigans which I don't know if they even make sense or not. And the points that they have got, I'm not quite sure if they should be comfortable around those points, because I think the cutoff is going to be somewhere over 400 for top 12. But yeah,
more than I think so. 400 is going to be good.
Yeah, but after this game, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be able to make it towards the top 4. That thing is for sure. Until and unless they make some, or they bring in some bonkers game tomorrow. Because again, it's going to be Group C that will play all 3 games, so that's going to make some sense. Raiden, the last man standing, has pulled a lot of shenanigans previously, but I'm not quite sure if he can repeat the same thing right now. So many teams.
Yeah.
All the way spread out across the map. There's only a few that I can potentially see will end up in a clash, maybe. One of them might be Maiji Loss and Hermanos and Mad Kings, and the other one now could be K9 and Medal.
So scared. Whenever I am on the Hindi test, I tend to ask a lot of questions with my co-caster that which teams you're looking forward with will end up on the top 3, right? You have to give your speculations, you have to give your predictions. So whom do you thinking will, be in the top 3? You can name 3 teams by your own choice. But for now, to all the audience out there, you have a lucky chance. You can spin and unlock the Nixon Sinistra set starting at only 10 UC. That's a limited time offer only at Google Play. So come on, guys, utilize this offer, utilize this opportunity, and get yourself a Nixon Sinistra set. Moving forward with the question itself, name 3 teams. Necro, friend, scared. Because you named Shivu,
wow.
And I will do that.
Wow! It's still your nickname.
Come on, don't say that in the English test. I don't want people to get confused.
No one is going to trust me.
They will. What if a live viewer just suggested that, bro, what's your real name? Is it even Shivansh? Or you're just fooling us? I can show you that text, but for now, come on, name 3 teams. Don't dodge the question. I know you are smart. Don't try to act smart right now, but let's take a look how Global Esports takes an end. And Spray God! No, he got the DPS. He got one of the best weapon in this game and got finished off by a machete. That's the end.
And then his DPS was the main reason why Henry was able to get the knock on the rest 2 people.
What a beautiful storyline, right?
Lovely indeed. But I'll still have to say, Aryan was able to bring that entire fight to fruition in such a sweet manner.
That look from Adi. Yeah, justifies. Spray God was like, no, I don't have that DPS.
No, I just got slashed, bro.
Yeah, you got slashed.
I just got slashed.
But hey.
I have no clue about that. Now, to answer your question.
Yeah, thank you.
It's going to be a bit of a difficult one, to be very honest, right?
I know
because there's a lot of teams who are performing consistently. This is a map where we've seen True Rippers perform pretty well as well, so it's going to be one of my predictions.
Alright, True Rippers it is. Let me write that down.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
stop
always keep a note.
Yes, you should.
Okay, the mental note is enough. Yeah, True Rippers it is.
Since we're talking about top 3, right? True Rippers, Victorous, Sumus, and... let's see.
Let's see, it's not a team here. Yeah, okay, continue, man. Victorious Sumus, True Rippers, and the third team? Genesis! Yup, okay. That's a very good pick, by the way. I thought you were about to just say the name Genesis on the first place, but you opted for Victorious Summers and True Rippers. But nothing taken away. True Rippers on the other side.
Third, second, and first.
Alright.
So either way, Genesis is the first.
Genesis is the first. So you're hoping that they will secure the chicken dinner. I had the same thought in the previous map.
I'm pretty sure they will. If you look at Group C and A, let's be honest. Me and Necro were doing this entire nerdy thing where we were figuring out which 2 groups are actually the strongest out here in BGMS.
Yeah.
And it was a clear-cut answer that Group B and C is the strongest group. Because 9 out of top 10 teams were in those 2 groups.
And Group B, before this match, that was the only group who had all the 4 bounty teams in that one group. So, yeah, that sums up the nerdy part you have done,
So
all the study you have done.
That's the big thing, right? Group A teams have been on the struggling end for such a long time.
Yeah.
For as long as that vehicle was in the air, pretty sure he's going to get some airtime bonus on that. But that has been the struggle of all of them, right? So I'm trying to figure out as to how can they finally bring that consistency back. MyG definitely did it after getting a few chicken dinners. And the same thing could be said for FS Esports, as they haven't really got those chicken dinners, but at least they're keeping up with the fight and being in towards those end circles.
But FS, they're not getting the best result. Because in one game, you can see that they end up on the top 3, but in the next one, they were like one of the first team who takes an exit. So the consistency where FS is lacking in. But let's see, man, how they're going to just move forward with this gameplay. Because from tomorrow, you will see the teams will get divided and teams will move forward in the playoff semi-finals, as well as 4 teams will get the golden ticket for the grand finals. For now, Mad Kings, they're also on the struggling end of this game. 319 points, 40 points difference between them and the team who's on the 16th position. There's also a team who will be on the 17th position, but for now, their direct competition is Team Aryan. Meanwhile, MyG lost Hermanos. One of the lad got knocked out, but Shadow is going to be there so that he can revive him. The Molotov was really close. Yet, Kalan surviving. Shadow, he just needs that 1 second so that he can just instantly join his teammate. Come on, utilize one more smoke.
Yeah, you got to send one more smoke out there. Oh my goodness, that was so close.
Ballsy move, but he got his teammate.
Not quite sure for how long that smoke is going to last, so I'm pretty sure they've got to send another one out either ways. Wow. Oh, this ran out instantly. He got all the hit markers that he actually needed out there, but still did not get the finish. Kalan's going to survive by the skin of his teeth. That is a bold move from MyG Los Hermanos.
And you are fighting against a team who always looks out for these type of opportunities. It's K9. And now Shadow receiving hell lot of damage from the back end, and that is none other than Team FS. So you are surrounded by the players of Team OnePlus K9 as well as the players of FS. Impact player Kalan, he's back on his feet, but his vest is completely damaged.
This is the main thing whenever you're playing in the centric spot of the circle and you don't really have a solid compound which covers from different directions. That has been a problem, but one of the same problems for Mad Kings continue. Losing out some early members, losing out some early fights out there. If not for the help of Victorous Sumus, I think so Godlike would have decided to finish them off too. Instant knock coming in from on Gods, but he's going to be brought back up on his feet. So he should be fine as of now.
He should be.
Genesis moving all the way towards the Western Fray. There's Reckoning. Arinen a little bit over towards north, but we know that they like to play from northwest right now. We talk about that in a second as Victorous Sumus now going to face the wrath of Godlike. Jonathan getting a knock onto them instantly. Admino is also going to walk up to try and help their man out. It's a wide split from Godlike, but finally they're surrounding the members of Victorous Sumus. It's going to be a bit of a problem. Another nade knock. Mafia taken down. Pro re-knocked out here. It's a perfect way to push by Godlike. One's going to be confirmed. As it's all down to one. Last man as Jonathan gets 3 in that fight. And Godlike, with a loss of 1, survive.
Jonathan, he's the impact player, and getting these frags is a major chunk of points from the side of Team Extreme Godlike. And hey, one of your team was Victorious Summers. Guess what? Takes an exit. And that's why I always ask this question from my co-caster. But now moving forward, Likitha Esports spots out raiding the final player from 8-bit. That was a wrong time to drift. Wrong time to collect some style points. But Smoker, he was out in an open and tanked a lot of the damage. But he's in safe vicinities now. One adrenaline syringe so that he can get boosted up. And gradually, slowly and gradually, he will heal himself up. But Likitha Esports, Genesis, they are also rotating from the similar compound near the players of Likitha Esports. Magic! Only 50% of his HP left. Gravity, good amount of damage being dished out by this lad. But they gotta take a move. They gotta make a move. Scared. It seems Genesis might gatekeep for the players of Likitha Esports because their positioning is really good. But they could also end up
in
a sandwich situation, yeah.
I agree, because there's 40R right under them. And there's Phoenix all the way down south. What are the unconventional games where Phoenix are not really facing any major difficulties in this one, at least in the early to mid game?
G.
True Rippers as well.
Yeah.
All the way over towards the southeastern fray. Godlike having the full control of the western and the northwestern part. The next circle shift will be defining. It's going to move all the way up towards north. Godlike and K9, along with Myji Loss, Hermanos and Mad Kings, are going to be super happy about it. And guess what? Genesis and 40R will be taking it against each other. They'll have to figure out which one of them is going to win.
But that's a fight outside the safe zone.
It's absolutely fine. They just need to win this one quickly. Oh, what a lovely move coming in from the other side, though. Still, he's going to get that knock-in confirmation on Yash. Fantastic play coming in from 40R. With a knock member, they hold their defense down and destroy Genesis.
Guess what, Scared? You named Genesis as one of your top 3 teams. You named Team Victorious Summers as one of your top 3 teams. Both of them got eliminated. Thanks a lot, Scared.
Most welcome.
The fans will really appreciate that. But moving forward, the curse will go on or not. We'll find that out in an instant. With for now, reckoning against the players of Team Aryan. They're looking good. They already collected 4 finishes. Now they're looking for some more. But Jatin found out in an open. So as Archit and 40R. What they are doing? It seems that was a push from the side of the players of Team Phoenix. Pain is live, doing an incredible job, saving his teammate and also collecting a point. Seagod was burning out, was burning down, but got saved. Got saved by his teammate. Pain is live, is there. Ash, the IGL himself, is alive. But I don't know for how long. That's going to be the question.
He's the only man remaining now again. He sent all of his boys out there. Rushing up on that compound. He stayed behind to try and give the cover fire. There's no one to cover for now. Up towards the western phrase as well. Reckoning. They've got to try and take this fight against Team Aryan, but the problem is they're all in that one compound scooped up, and guess what? That makes you an easy target. Aryan still holds his ground down. Also good combination as well. The S12K. Not really enough right now. Already losing a couple of members onto Reckoning. The Wolves will be howling. They're going to try and take down the rest of the members too. Still bringing them back to a 3v2. Another knock coming in. Aryan taken down. Big one. It's all down to Devotee. As he tries to survive. He's got a Molotov in his hand. Switches up to a frag as well. Just trying to stop them from barging in. We've known this man to clutch up multiple times. Whenever he's the only man standing. Can he repeat that?
No, he can't. Dionys has denied that. The IGL himself denies that. And now Reckoning, they are surviving, but I can't say that they will survive for long because Dionys, he got instantly picked by the players of Likitha Esports and Medal. They are looking forward for this fight too, and Venom, the grenade was perfect. Flawless indeed, and Medal shuts down the players of Reckoning, and that's the end for the players of Reckoning. They were on the 18th position, thought that they can topple down the biggest competition in the server, Team Aryan, for them. But both the teams takes an exit. Now Metal Venom, he got pincered down by the players of Likitha Esports. The spray was phenomenal, and Omega out in the open, caught catching these players alive. And Omega missing a lot of shots, and now he has to be prepared for that grenade. It seems he sensed that. Whoa, way too early.
Utilizing the high ground cover perfectly. That's what I have to say. Slug is also providing that cover fire, confirming all the knocked finishes. Up close and personal is where this one man of Likitha Esports is. Zozo. Not quite sure if Omega knows about him. That one util was sent out his way. That's the problem. And EXO destroyed instantly. Waited for too long and through the smoke. This man can miss no shots.
He's not the impact player, but he is showcasing that impactful performance. Omega collecting 2 frags, and now look at the Esports. Only Smoker is left. He has to make a move so that he can dodge the damage of the blue, as well as he can deny the players of K9 He's moving inside the circle, applying those bandages, but the damage is really, really crazy. Now, he's in the safer area, but Ash got eliminated. Phoenix Esports takes an exit. A very weird route for Smoker. I don't think so that he can survive for so long. But K9 Esports, they found really, really good compounds near Ricardo. A risky compound, by the way, because it's too open. Dos Hermanos, Zyrex knocking down a player of 4TR, Z-God. He will get another revival, by the way. This is the second time I think so Z-God got knocked out. Meanwhile, Roman, yeah, caught lacking. Clutch God shuts him down, but Clutch God also unaware about his surroundings, getting knocked out.
Confirmation stolen away from TWOB, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a problem coming in. Now there's this trifecta forming down towards south where FS, Mad Kings, 4TR, these three teams will collide. And this is the best opportunity for True Rippers to hop in for a third party. I'm pretty sure they're lurking around somewhere in the shadows. And they're going to wait to get this perfect timing in onto this entire cluster. There's going to be a lot of long-range battles out of here. A lot of knocks constantly hopping in. They're going to get the revival as well on the feed though. But 4TR, I'm not quite sure if they're going to survive through this one. Absolutely no covers up in front of them. No vehicles to utilize. No smokes to utilize. So they're going to lose a lot of members constantly. And there we go. Shots, hit markers. And then the confirmation flowing in as well. 4TR caged up in a compound and sent back home. Not alive.
That's the end for them. And now the players of Team K9 Esports, they will get a chance so that they can instantly collect as many points as they can, so that they can topple down the players of 4TR from their 12th position. Let's see if they spot the semi-final slot. Metal Esports, they are alive. Aimbot, 4 frags for that lad. Dermy, by the way, collecting 3. And Aimbot is the impact player, so we can clearly see that they have collected good amount of points from this circle only. Circle will close in eventually. Will it favor the players of Mad Kings, or it will move and shift towards the players of K9? And yes, it is favoring K9 as well as Hero Extreme Godlike. Look at it, Mino. Close to the center and got the compound. He will be very happy. Punk will be very happy by this, because he knows what type of rotation you wanted in the circle. Sam, the spray was almost perfect, but Kiolamau got sliver of HP and he's still surviving. He can heal himself up, but True Rippers, the entry is going to be really, really tricky for them.
They've got to utilize the terrain to their best of the best advantage. You've got a lot of ridges to play around, so you've got to be super careful around that. I think so they still have a pretty decent terrain, and considering the number of vehicles they're bringing in, yeah, I don't think so they're going to have any major problems out of there.
Good, but I got a question. Mad Kings, they got a really good compound. They can easily convert the circle. They can easily get this chicken. If the circle moves towards them, I can see that.
There's a big if, right?
Yeah, there's a big if.
Now, the thing is, there are 3 different teams who can eventually convert this game.
Alright.
4 rather, if you're also counting Maiji, Los Hermanos. But they don't really have any kind of compound inside of the circle right now. So it's either going to be K9 or Godlike or Mad Kings. Depending on the movement of the circle, either one of them can actually convert this game.
But Mad Kings, are they prepared for the backstab? FS, they are about to pull a really interesting move, but True Rippers can spoil that perfect move from the side of FS, but Kiolamau once again taking a lot of damage, and look at his helmet and vest. 80%, soaked 80% of that damage, and now that's barely surviving. And scared, it's looking bad for the players of Mad Kings, because they regrouped, but they're still far away. And Altu, he thought that he could survive for so long, but got knocked out. Aimbot is the only player from Metal now surviving at Mino out in an open on top of that heart. He is there. He will control that position. He needs to be careful. Altu, that's the end. Shadow confirms that final frag.
Aimbot is still holding his position down right now. Kalan versus Aimbot, 2 of the most impactful players for their own respective teams right now. Shots being fired. And the confirmation flows for Kalan. He himself will be knocked down all the way from the other side by Sounds from Mad Kings. His clutch god. He tries to confirm that finish. All the impact players now pulling their own triggers. That's the big one. Smoker, in the meantime, survived for such a long time.
And he's still there.
That he re-wrapped behind K9 and eventually got Beast.
Whoa.
He basically ruined the game of K9. And now
did.
the circle has moved a bit more away from the members of K9. So I'm not quite sure if they're going to be feeling comfortable about it.
But it's a boy. Yeah.
Smoker has been dealt with, so that's fair. But now they don't really have a lot of things to work around with. You've got Myji Loss Hermanos onto your west, and then you've got Godlike onto your east.
Hermanos, especially, he got the height advantage and he can easily spot out the players. Crore got spotted out, but the distance is quite a lot. The circle is favoring Hero Extreme Godlike as well as OnePlus K9 squad. Esports. Also, Myji Los Hermanos, they weren't even close to that safe zone, and now they got a good part of the safe zone. And Mad Kings, I don't think so that they will be able to snatch this circle away because they have to deal with FS first, and Lovish finds Shadow. And he will be in a whole world of trouble. And now look at the players of FS, they are making a move. They are also getting pinned down by the players of True Rippers, but they are not doing a great job getting a knock. Clutch got with a grenade of his own. A grenade lobbed. But FS dodged it so swiftly that they are still surviving. Clutch God, come on, you got to revive your teammate. Sam healing himself up.
Still going to try and hold down though as the third party of True Rippers wait in the shadows. They're lurking right behind them. They're holding their position down as FS still decide to push up. Mad King, alright, their player is down and out. Oh no! Nade was not perfectly timed. And FS losing their members, losing their advantage. Another one. Just did not go where it was supposed to. Mad Kings hold their ground. But it's Myji Los Hermanos to save the likes of Mad Kings. At least for the next few seconds as they themselves decide to clear out the entirety of the South. Godlike. Their focus is now going to be divided by two different teams. One is going to be K9, the second about this fight happening down south.
True Rippers, they found the perfect timing so that they can pin down the players of Mad Kings. Completely unaware, but Hydro still got taken down by Sam. He just got the revival and Clutch got once again getting knocked out. Sam barely surviving on the sliver of his HP, but that's the end for him. Zyrex, by the way, stole that finish of Clutch God. True Rippers in the top 4. Mad Kings takes an exit. Myji Los Hermanos, you're one of the most incredible team right now. Uninvited, but still making sure that they will put a good fight against the players of True Rippers. Harsh. Blue Zone is going too harsh onto him. Bailey surviving, got 2 down, and Spy is the only player who managed to get all the 3 players down. Now it all comes down to Shadow.
Holy smokes, insane! Last stand from Harsh. Can he get the last play from Myji Los Hermanos? An absolute beast-like performance. The nade lobbed in onto his face. Now he knows the position, and it's Shadow. To put him out of his misery, but a massive blunder from Myji. Potentially costing them the chicken dinner in this game as it's going to be served to the members of Godlike. Thanks to that performance of Harsh.
3 for Admino, 3 for Jonathan, 3 for Godzi. This has to be the perfect game for Hero Extreme Godlike. In the previous map, they got eliminated by the players of Phoenix Esports on the first place, and now they could get the first place for themselves. Omega and Ninja Boy, the final 2 lads from K9 Esports. Shadow, the only player from Los Hermanos. Admino, look at his position. He is aware about that Shark, but you are completely unaware about Shadow, and he can easily spoil your game up. And Ninja Boy, he found Admino in an open area, despite he utilized a smoke grenade for himself so that he can create an extra cover. Still Ninja Boy. And yeah, he got knocked out instantly. Godzi doing a fabulous job. And now it's time to save your teammate.
Gonna get that revival in as well though. Omega has got an angle for himself to play around with, but not the advantage of any kind of height. So that's a bit of a problem. I think so it's gonna stay just like that for the next few seconds as well until the blue touches, and then it starts to move again in the next few. It's inevitable now.
Yeah.
Godlike is getting that chicken with 3 members.
If
1 lost so far back. I don't think so there's going to be any ifs and buts unless they mess this up big time like MyG lost Hermanos, which is not happening. The only question is, can they claim this one more finish now? MyG lost Hermanos. Shadow out here. Gets everything. Picks up an arm as well. A 1v3. He's got vehicles up in front of him. Go and farm for a clip, my man. Go and farm for a clip. Go for a no-scope bomb. No! Never mind. He just tried. He absolutely tried his best though, but cannot best the members of Godlike. Winner chicken dinner for the map of Miramar. As they claim this one, easily served to them on a platter. But man, what a last stand by her.
Damn, bro. He stole the show, to be honest. We have to talk about that. Shadow was really surviving and still puts up a good fight. But Punk bats the back of his teammate Hermanos and Johnny with the final frag. And remember, he was the impact player. He still is the impact player, collecting major chunks of points. And they will be very happy by this performance. And you can see the players are smiling. Why not? It's your chance, it's your time to smile. But let's take a look how the final fight panned out for the players of Infinix. Got like the first pick. Oh, this hurt! Look at that, 30% SP, that's it. Still a crazy fight. And Shadow managed to shut him down. That was God's seal.
I think so the idea of MyG lost Hermanos was right. The execution was not. That was a bit of a problem. And all thanks to that, it was Godlike eventually moving all the way back up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to move all the way back up onto stage to talk to the boys after a long time.
J-Man is in the house. Godlike finally picking up a chicken dinner. Johnny, it's been a while, man. कि हमारी बात नहीं हुई है after Godlike has won a game. एक ऐसा भी time था कि आप लोग top 4 में थे. What has gone wrong in the past? We'll come to this win today.
So, in the middle, like first 2 weeks, we were doing decent. This last week, like things didn't work as we planned. चीजें मतलब ऊपर नीचे हो रही थी and अभी finally like you know we are catching that pace. वही हम देख रहे थे, zone नहीं मिल रहा था, क्या नहीं मिल रहा था. We went back and we discussed कि क्या problems हो रही थी and we in this match we caught the zone and just took the chicken dinner.
Listen, Miramar is fine, right? But Erangel में क्या हुआ था?
Erangel में यार to be honest like वही late थोड़ा push कर दिए जब मैंने opening दिया था. फिर बाद में वही एक ही बंदा था तो उस पर थोड़ा वही सोच रहे थे ज़्यादा double thoughts. So because of that वो बंदा भी रेस हो गया. फिर they capitalized us.
Punk अकेले fight लेता है. Is that सोची समझी strategy या is it something just happens?
No, just like he's a IGL, so he has to play like you know different. He has to see the zone and play differently too. So like yeah, it's just a normal role for him.
So I got one question क्योंकि Godlike के fans जो हैं मैं उन्हें ढूंढूं ना ढूंढूं वो मेरे को ढूंढ लेते हैं क्योंकि मैंने किसी का इंटरव्यू किया है. But also कुछ मैचेस ऐसे भी थे जहां पे आई गेस आप लोग फाइनल बैटल में थे एंड चिकन डिनर आपके हाथ से फिसल गया एंड देन द कैमरा कट्स टू यू गाइस ऑन योर बूथ एंड बहुत देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ एनिमेटेड कॉन्वर्सेशन. इमोशंस जो है वो चेहरे पे दिख रहे हैं. यू आर लुकिंग एट एडमिनो इज लुकिंग एट यू. देयर इज जस्ट सम सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग हैपनिंग देयर. क्या मतलब इज इट जस्ट लाइक टीम्स जिनके बीच में ऐसी चीजें होती हैं या देयर समथिंग मोर टू इट?
So to be honest, like chicken dinner throw is just like normal for us. It's not just now; it's from the start. So that's just yeah, like the chicken dinner throw is just a normal thing for us.
Godlike fans, be easy on them. अब chicken dinner इन्होंने जीत लिया है. So let the nice messages come. We take a break and we come back.
He was taken too soon.
I told him, lag, we have got Snapdragon 8 series Gen 3. Elite performance, unprecedented 144 FPS, 0 stutter and heating.
And yet, he still tried.
A beautiful thing.
Bro, we're about to drop.
Just a second. I need to finish this video.
Ask Gemini on Android, it will give highlights.
Press for key highlights.
Only on Android.
TVS Raider, the wicked ride.
Real MVPs are not born. They practice every day. For OP moves on the field and in life.
Duolingo English Test. Proud supporters of dreamers and doers.
Red Bull gives you wings.
You forgot to charge your phone. Why won't you wake
हम बिगिनिंग हमेशा नहीं था स्टार यूसी लेने से पहले सोचता था 100 बार डर था बड़ा स्कैम्स का डाउट से हजार तो प्ले ओपी आया तो लगाई नया पर तो मैंने लिया यूसी सेव गेम किया रेस प्ले मेरे साथ यहाँ ड्रॉप से कम हार्ड प्ले तेरे साथ ओपी तू भी कर ले स्टार्ट
Maybe the gods are back now in this game and for the next one as well. Maybe they're not. Maybe someone else is going to steal the tea away from them. But that was absolutely a solid game coming in for the side of Godlike in the previous one. Pretty decent from the other end too. But yeah, True Rippers, unfortunately, they did not make in the top 3.
Unfortunately, yeah, that was the case. And to be honest, there's a reason why I asked that question. Ravan, yesterday he did the same thing. He named 3 teams and the 3rd team ended up on the 4th position. And that thing happened again today too. So I think so that question is really, really interesting. You know, jinxing out the players. But unfortunately, that wasn't the top point of, you know, our conversation. Our point is 4TR. They managed to get good points, but they got caught in the rotation. Similar thing happened with the players of K9 Esports. All the 4 players were alive. They forgot about one of the lads from the players of Likitha Esports, and that's why they got punished, losing out one of your main player. And then while rotating into the final circle, you lost one more and getting pinned down behind his shack. But who got the MVP title? I think so it's none other than Jonathan, whom that I'm expecting.
I think so. It's
going to be Gods. I think so. It's going to be Johnny. Whom do you think?
Gods.
Okay, you'll give me the 10 UC spin if you win. And if I do, we'll do vice versa. Alright?
If we'll see. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Gods though. But here's the fun thing, right? Regardless of who it's going to be, the performance of Godlike was actually pretty solid for this one, right? After such a long time, with so many times of them literally throwing away those chicken dinners as well. They eventually hopped back in as well. Gods with 5 finishes and 42% finish contribution for the team. Pretty sure they had 12 finishes overall at the end of the game as they got that last finish onto Shadow as well of Mighty Los Hermanos. Eventually, it's going to be Jonathan with 4 finishes, Gods with 5 for going all out, and the Best Rescue as well, going for the members of 4TR. Pain is live. I'm pretty sure they would have wanted him on a different part of this. But it's fine. If he's got to bring in the revivals in, then it's absolutely fine. He's the impact player of the team as well, though. But 4 finishes for Jonathan by the impact player, so pretty decent for Godlike, at least 8 points coming in. And then you also combine the rest of the teams, and all the finishes too. So yeah, I think so they should hit somewhere around 30-point mark though, but There's a lot of things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a look at the OnePlus Never Settle moments one more time for that map as things started off again on a pretty aggressive note out there. Godlike, first of all, dealing with one of those teams, though. Choice words, Phoenix.
Interesting, yeah. But you know what? They lost Punk in that fight. After that, they haven't lost a single player. So that looks like, yep, Team Helix and Godlike, they were prepared for this particular situation, for this Miramar map from the start. OnePlus K9 Esports, once again, a very bad end for them. I really thought that they might have, they could have survived for a bit long, and that was a flashy end, by the way, and securing the final frag while switching seats and connecting the final shot, and you can see Godzi smiling. And now we'll take a look at the match ranking. We'll see how many points does the players of Hero Team Godlike got. It's gonna be total 26, close to 30, 4 points away from the 30 marker, but still the 26 number is also phenomenal. Medal also collecting major points. Look at that, 17 finished points. Scared. I really thought it's gonna be K9, but they're not even close. They got only 10.
That's the big thing, right? Because Medal again with the impact player, finishing off teams in power play as well. So that's big. 4TR getting bounty of Genesis as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal stuff coming in. That was the only team which actually was in the top 4 bounty team. So that's one part for them. Genesis being eliminated so early on. 0 for them. 8-bit as well getting caught in the rotations out early on. Not quite sure what's going on for them. Global Esports, yeah. Things either are very good or they look very bad. There's no in-between for their side. Revenant Xbox still being the only team to touch down that 500-point mark, as God's Reign were close second to them at 497. Exact same game. Soul, and now it's going to be Hero Extreme Godlike who are eventually up in that top 4, but they're not going to stay there for a long time. Orangutan and Genesis, they have got their next 2 games as well. Or rather, not Genesis, it's Orangutan who will play the next 2 games, so they'll eventually move forward.
They will eventually move forward in the second page. Team True Rippers once again toppling down Team 8-bit. Before this match, we really thought that 8-bit will work their way up and trying to fight back, but it doesn't seem like that. Reckoning also moving forward, but not in a good form. 319 points, that's it. Mad King still, they are on the 18th spot with 325 points. Mad Kings, once again, I really thought that they got a good compound. They got the man advantage in such a way. Eventually you lost one of your players, but you spots out at least, like you spotted out 2 teams while staying in that compound, but you weren't even prepared for FS fight.
That's the main thing about Mad Kings, right? They do spot out the teams as well, and when it comes to those 5v5 fights or fire fights, right, 4v4 fights, that's where they seem to be lacking. Like they are never winning those fights when it's head on to them. If they are the ones who are doing the third party, fine. The other person is not looking at you, but when it comes to them, I haven't really seen them win unless it's Godlike on the other. And for some reason, I don't know, you may never know. There are certain reasons out there for that. But again, 2 groups already over. There are going to be 2 new groups hopping in for the next one. It's going to be A again playing all their 4 games today. So the next one is Sanhok and Erangel for them. And then we'll have the absolute bravo of a group B. You got God's Reign, Meta NINZA, not so much, but Orangutan.
Yeah.
You've also got Revenant Xbox, NoNx, some big names coming into next one. So a lot of stuff out there. And since we're already talking about that, right? Revenant Xbox has also been performing super solid. Only team to hit that 500-point mark. We've actually got someone lined up from Revenant Xbox for the interview. So why not quickly send it down to them and have a look at what they say.
देखिए बात आ रही है जब डोमिनेंस की ना, और जब बात आती है वीकेंड की, iQOO रेवेनेंट एक्सबॉक्स सबसे टॉप पे चल रहे हैं. मेरे साथ जुड़ चुके हैं उनके कोच साहब एक्सपी. वेल, एक बात बताइए, बहुत ही सच्चाई से बताइएगा, वीकेंड्स में क्या होता है और वीकडेज में क्या होता है?
वीकेंड्स पे हम लोग ट्राई करते हैं कि हम लोग जो भी ये फॉर्मेट है उसको मैक्सिमम तरीके से एक्सप्लॉइट करें, और वीकडेज पे हमारी स्ट्रैटेजी अलग होती है. थोड़ा एंड गेम्स खेलने का हमारा वो होता है, ताकि हमें मतलब एंड गेम्स में डिसीजन मेकिंग हमारी कैसी है, अच्छी है या नहीं है, हम कन्वर्ट कर पा रहे हैं या नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. तो हम दोनों टाइम पे हमारा अप्रोच अलग अलग होता है. हम लोग सेम अप्रोच के साथ नहीं जाते हैं, और हम लोग एक्सप्लॉइट कर ही पा रहे हैं. आप देख ही रहे होगे हमारे बोनस पॉइंट सबसे ज़्यादा है. तो वही होता है, यही डिफरेंस होता है. हम लोग एम करते हैं कि हम लोग इस फॉर्मेट के अकॉर्डिंगली अपना प्ले स्टाइल रखें और उस हिसाब से अपनी स्ट्रैटेजीज बनाएं.
देखिए, स्ट्रैटेजीज की बात करें ना, तो सेंसे आजकल थोड़े अलग रवैये से देखने को मिल रहे हैं. वो जो हंसमुख चेहरा देखने को मिलता था, वो आजकल बहुत गुस्सा हो रहा है आफ्टर मैच. आप बताइए कि एग्जैक्टली क्या चल रहा है.
एग्जैक्टली यही चल रहा है कि मतलब वो अभी कैप्चर हो गया है, जो आपने देखा है वो वैसे भी वैसा होता है, क्योंकि अगर कोई एक चीज़ बार बार रिपीट होगी, गलती बार बार रिपीट हो रही है, तो एक टाइम के बाद फ्रस्ट्रेशन आ ही जाता है इन गेम लीडर के अंदर कि हमारे पास पोजीशनिंग है, हमारे पास एडवांटेज है, हमारे पास मैप कंट्रोल है, फिर भी हम लोग गेम कन्वर्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं सिली मिस्टेक की वजह से। ऐसा भी नहीं कि मतलब कोई गलती हो गई, मतलब ब्लंडर ही हो जाता है। तो कोई आईजीएल फ्रस्ट्रेट होगा तो फिर वो अपनी फ्रस्ट्रेशन तो निकालेगा ही प्लेयर्स पे, कि मतलब प्लेयर्स बार बार सेम चीज़ कर रहे हैं, कि समझाने वाली गलतियाँ नहीं होती है, मतलब ब्लंडर्स हो जाते हैं।
होपफुली ये आगे हमें देखने को ना मिले, क्योंकि फिलहाल डोमिनेंस है इनका, बट आप भी एंजॉय करिए पूरे इस सीजन को।
He was taken too soon.
I told him, lag, we have got Snapdragon 8 series Gen 3. Elite performance, unprecedented 144 FPS, zero stutter and heating.
And yet, he still tried.
A beautiful thing.
Unlock BGMI's new gold spin starting at just 10 UC. Limited time offer on Google Play.
How did we go from bathtub to battleground?
Gemini on Android, bro. Anything can happen.
Press to create videos.
Only on Android.
TVS Raider, the wicked ride.
Real MVPs are not born. They practice every day. For OP moves on the field and in life.
Duolingo English Test. Proud supporters of dreamers and doers.
Unlock BGMI's new gold spin starting at just 10 UC. Limited time offer on Google Play.
Red Bull gives you wings.
After a domination on the map of Miramar, they're going to hop towards the map of Sanhok. It's going to be Group A teams competing against the members of Group B now. As things are going to swap up, change about here as we have the schedule up on our screen, ladies and gentlemen. Aryan getting the chicken dinner for the first one, and then Godlike getting the chicken dinner for the second. Good performance coming in for Aryan as well, but Godlike only playing one of those games. Out here, the players of NINZA are unwell, and because of that, they will not be able to play out here. So that's an unfortunate news coming in for NINZA. I really hope that they get well soon out here, though. Shadow is going to be on desk with me now, so welcome back, Shadow. I know you're going to be super happy to see all of these teams again go for the fight, right? Because we've got 3 bounty teams out here playing right now. God's Reign, and then you've got Soul as well, and Revenant X-Park.
Well, definitely 3 bounty teams in the lobby, but the previous, if you notice, the map of Miramar, it was not really an aggressive one, especially at the very start. Few drop clashes. In fact, only a single drop clash did happen. But Sanhok is one of those maps where you can take advantage of the finish points. You can take advantage of the impact player and power play as well. Godstone is also one of those teams which tends to shy away from the extra power play points. They tend to play their natural play style, which is very zone oriented. But Goblin, he's also a pretty happy lad, and pretty also handsome, I'll say. But yesterday he was much happier because the team got a winner chicken dinner. But now OG is also one of those teams which needs to stage a comeback. But for the audience, we have got something, and I'm talking about Nyx and Sinistra set starting at 10. UC West can spin and unlock. So go ahead and try your luck at the Google Play.
No one wants to miss out on that fun, as it's also a limited time offer, people. Make sure you get that ready An amazing set out there now, as you mentioned about OG as well. Slipping from that top 4, not just top 4, but rather now ending at the 5th place. Or even 6th, so they're not going to be happy about that. Genesis above them, and then there are already 4 other teams. And the fact is, there is, or rather are a couple of teams right ahead of them who are still yet to play 2 more games. And I'm pretty sure that OG are now going to treat today as well, just like how they'd normally treat a finals. Unless even they want to play the semi-finals. To keep the momentum up though. But with the way how they normally play, yeah, I don't quite think that's the case. With the way how we have seen OG play, yeah, they're super aggressive. But if you want to see true Rippers, Soul, Godlike and Medal play, you can use the multicam feature of Geo Hotstar, which is exclusively available on that. And you can have the POV feed of all of these 4 teams, or one of them, whichever you pick. Given that they are, yeah, of course, playing in this one and also surviving for the later stages now, because we've been talking about survival, and recently Medal has been facing some problems out there, Shadow, on that.
Well, certainly a few issues have been there. I agree to that, but I really hope all those issues do rectify, because in the previous Miramar, Medal was performing really good. But now it's time for Sanhok, and the flight path is going to be up on our screens very soon. All the 16 teams and 64 plus are ready for this map of Sanhok. 3 bounty teams in the lobby, and the players are excited. Team iQOO Soul, they have gotten a bounty. REVENANT Spark, they have got a bounty on their heads. Even the players of OG, God's Rain do want to claim those extra points in the power play, but the flight path is a bit tilted towards the eastern side, as it is going all the way from the side of Bantai towards Mongoy.
Everyone's going to be able to jump to wherever they would really want to, so I don't think so there's going to be any kind of issues out there. OG as well taking their own exit towards Lakavi Ban area. Marcos Gaming going all the way towards Kampong. Maiji Los Hermanos spread out entirely throughout the center of the map. Seems like they think the whole map is the first circle right now though, but another drop clash again happening all the way in boot camp. This is looking like your rank lobby out here, ladies and gentlemen, as Medal are the first ones to take the big blow. Already losing a couple of members out there, and also Venom barely breathing, barely surviving. And it's a S686 in the hand, and you don't show your back to Cheyenne. Instantly destroying another one, gets another knock, and now just wants to get that confirmation flowing as well. Yeah, they've spotted out where Venom is. You can try and run away. You can try and survive away, but you won't live to tell the tale to anyone, or maybe you will. At least gave us a glimpse. But only a glimpse it was into what the sky could offer. It's Victor Sumus to fly higher than what Medal could dream.
Well, Medal has been eliminated on the 15th spot right now, but TWOB also going up against the players of God's Rain at this point, as Avi has taken a lot of damage in this situation, and he's the first one to be knocked out from the side of TWOB. Recently, we have been noticing that TWOB is going towards the side of Paradise Resort, and every time the situation is not going in their favor. But if you guys are wondering that why we have 15 teams in the lobby, is because Meta NINZA, they are not in the lobby. 2 of the players of Meta NINZA are sick, feeling under the weather, and that's the reason that Meta NINZA is not playing the matches today. But God's Rain, a good head start for them, and now finally TWOB, they're trying to fall back from the situation.
I have absolutely no clue as to what their decision making was. Mac dropping all the way towards Cow, while rest of the members playing towards the Paradise Resort. If they wanted to claim the bounty, they should have all gone for that. But them not really realizing what they need to focus on, that's been a bit of a problem, and so is the case with REVENANT Spark, as we saw that in the finish feed too. 3 of their players being taken down, and just a couple of them remain on the other side of the attackers. It's going to be Reckoning who eventually try to move forward. Trey Scott closing the door as well, broken down, got the DBS in hand, and he will gain the confirmation. Down to the last 1v1, it was the fight for the bounty. And Trey Scott decided to fight head on like a boss.
But in Painan also, we have got a drop clash between the players of Team iQOO Soul and Likitha Esports. Likitha Esports did perform decent in the previous Miramar, but iQOO Soul were the ones to get a chicken dinner yesterday, where Sanhok has been pretty strong. But look at the position where Nakul is. He's actually having in a completely off angle, which the players of Likitha won't be expecting. And Goblin from the rooftop can actually pass on so much information to Nakul. In the power play itself, Nakul did manage to get one finish. So that means 2 extra points for the team. But Joker is the guy who is the impact player of this week. But since we have a Northern Circle, I think iQOO Soul and Likitha Esports, they both need to prioritize the rotations as well. Otherwise, someone would be there to cut off their rotation. They have to cross the bridge. They have to go all the way towards the side of Camp Alpha Island or towards the side of Tatmok. We don't know where the final circle will be, but this circle has got 40% area in the water. At the very start, we have a bit of the crazy circle.
It's been the case on almost every single day of BGMS, where in one of those 4 maps, we will have a nasty circle. It never has been any straightforward game. OG making their own way as well. Slow and steady.
Slow and steady, like you said. But for now, Molotov's being lobbed and finally a cheeky angle onto Starboy. The spam from a S12K. But Nakul is the one to get an opening knock onto Magic. Legend also goes down to the hands of Starboy. Instant confirmation point has been secured. And now iQOO Soul is also left with only 3 players. A 3v3 situation. Likitha Esports, a good connection with Goblin from the rooftop angle, is still trying to provide all the backline support to his teammate. Bit angry. Lost onto Legend. And Legend has been such a great addition in the roster of iQOO Soul. He's always the one to save the day for the team.
Yep.
I'm sure his early exit is going to harm the team of iQOO Soul, but for now, Likitha Esports, they are down to only 2 members.
That's the big problem, right? They were the ones who wanted to hunt the bounty.
Yep.
Can't really claim that as well now. That's tough. 1:30 remains for stage 1 and for power play. So maybe, if anything, they would want to try and push forward and get those 2 finishes. When you talk about Nakul, that's basically like a fail-safe position too. If the 3 of the members fall in the city, then he's going to run away to deny the bounty now. But they want to actually go in and push. They're going to try and take Inferno down. This man will have to stand out there, and he does not realize how close Nakul has hopped in. Can't apply any kind of safety. Gets 2, but he's got smoke up for his own support as well. Able to get 1 knock to Goblin answers back on the other side. Now it's down to a 1v3. And it ain't happening today. It's iQOO Soul who wins that one out, but it's OG who are now taking the blow. Victorious Sumus destroying the apes mid-rotation.
Cheyenne, the impact player, getting 2 finishes in this situation. So that means extra 4 points. And 6 finishes in the power play. So many points accumulated by the players of VS. And Necro has been saying this constantly, that VS, they need to focus on their 4v4 fights. They need to take advantage of the power play. And finally, VS is doing exactly that. But from the backlines, Gods also comes in and takes down AKOP. But Wizgod is there to go for the rescue mission. But now OG, they also need to deal with the players of FS, who have the entire temple control. They have a height advantage and they can get so much information. So OG, they are not in the best possible spot right now. Same goes for the players of Marcos Gaming, True Rippers and iQOO Soul. They are taking the brunt of the blue, going for the late rotation. And Marcos Gaming is also one of those teams which has been struggling in those 4v4 fights a lot.
It's a Camp Alpha circle right now.
I'm missing K9.
The exact reference. You talked about Marcos Gaming struggling in their performance itself. True Rippers are the ones who are hunting them. At least being pretty close. That's that. Got a first knock already coming in. Marcos Gaming. Chargod instantly taking 1 down, and that's the confirmation flowing in as well. Hydro falls. Superman on the other. Bleeding out. falling down to that as Noddy's nade comes in for support. Harsh is just too far back, along with Keo, and I'm not quite sure as to what True Rippers wanted to do. You normally leave one person behind and send 3 far forward. You have 2 behind, and the people who went forward, both of them fell. It's like, yeah, you dealt some damage to the other team and then you took a lot of damage on yourself as well. It's down to nothing, and that too in the stage 2. No additional points coming in for your team. That basically means a game being ruined for both of them now. Tough pill to swallow, but that's what you got to work with.
At least True Rippers are still in a decent spot in the overall ranking. They're on the 10th spot, and Marco's Gaming, despite having so many chicken dinners, they are sitting on the 17th spot. It's because of the inconsistency which we have been mentioning almost every other day. True Rippers, yes, a bad start for them. Harsh and Kiolama are the only 2 players remaining from the set of True Rippers at this point. But Godstrain, they are going for a really great rotation. Having the entire northern control, they can actually take the waterways as well. But for now, iQOO Soul are also heading all the way towards the side of Ruins to go for the rotation towards the Camp Alpha. FS and Team Aryan are the 2 teams who can benefit heavily in this situation. And so do the players of TWOB, because if we remember at the very start of the tournament, I guess during the initial few days, TWOB used to go all the way towards the side of Hathin, and that is exactly where they are right now. They are aware about every nook and cranny of the city, so I'm very sure that TWOB can actually deliver a good performance, considering the circle is also favoring Hathin.
If anything, I want to see them win the fights.
That might be a problem.
Winning the game without winning the fights. I see where this is going. Alright, we'll see if that happens, TWOB, if they can win without winning the fights.
I'm sure you remember the game of Sanhok where we had a similar circle and TWOB was towards Hathin. VS, they were on the shorelines. I'm sure you remember the outcome.
Let's see.
I would love to see a chicken dinner coming in from the side of TWOB though.
You mentioned about Hathin being still favored by the circle. Well, it decided not too much. Victorous Sumus right now around the eastern shorelines, holding their ground. You've got FS as well, playing in a 1-3 split. Lovish is just so far away from his team that if anything happens, he's not surviving there. But the thing is, it's actually a high ground, so he can be pretty safe. Just needs to make sure he does not get caught up by this rotation of Aryan, because we know this team loves to play around the western fray. But here's the big thing. Would you really want to play on the west of these hills right now? Because rotation from these mountainous terrains, it's kind of going to become annoying for you. Try and deal with that. But I don't think it should be that big of a problem. As long as they can deal with FS.
Sorry to cut you off, but you know, if I'm in the shoes of Trace God, I'm not going to talk about the other teams, but if I'm in the shoes of Trace God, I'll stay in the water for as long as possible.
I mean, his team has got 4 finishes, 4 of them in the power play. So yeah, I'm pretty sure.
They're the table toppers. It's not about the result. It's not about the standings in the overall ranking. I'm just talking about the game of Sanhok. Yes, even if Trace God doesn't get anything, even if he goes for the extra shiny play, go for a 1v4 fight, he can do anything. But I'm talking about if I am in the shoes of Trace God.
Fair. That's the best possible strategy to try and survive out from this point onwards. Plus, you're going to avoid most of the combat that is happening right now. FS, they know where True Rippers are. And the best thing about them is that they are already bruised up. Almost getting a knock by that nade as well. Levi. Pretty good in slicing the Titans. Not really that good in aiming and throwing the nades. Aaron's got to survive right now because this drive-by eventually spotted him. He wanted to go for a weapon swap, getting caught out there. Though support coming in instantly from Devotee. Henry as well, helping his team out. So Aryan, on a knock of one, they eventually try and get to. The nades being lobbed in onto that exact same spot where the people were. And it's also FS now. They're firing shots in this exact same direction. Marcos Gaming taking shots from two different ways. And this is not ending good for them, as it's Joker who steals the finish away.
Marcos Gaming once again coming under heavy fire. It's Team Aryan who has got the height advantage, but Devotee has taken a lot of damage. But despite that, Henry is the one to deal with the last player of Marcos Gaming, and Marcos once again an early exit on the 12th spot. But Team Aryan 2 extra finishes, but the circle takes a bit of the southern shift and is favoring the players of Team iQOO Soul quite a lot. Trace God is also towards the southern shoreline. He can actually take advantage of it and go for the position points, or maybe go against the players of Team iQOO Soul, because iQOO Soul is also playing in a 1v2 split, and Trace God is one of those players who will never shy away from a fight. He has the capability of turning any fight into his favor despite being at a numbers disadvantage. But for now, FS going up against the players of NoNx. Anonymous has been knocked out, but gods, the counter knock is also on to him. Back and forth trades are coming in, and FS Lavish is so far away from his teammates.
This is exactly what I mentioned, that even though FS are playing with a nice split, but if one of them gets knocked out, then there's no way for them to get revived. So, bit of a problem coming in for their side as we move up on top of Temple. Normally you would hope for people to be praying out there. This time. So, oh my god, Devotee with the drive-by. Just moving down of the members of NoNx. Along with Aryan. I'm not quite sure if this was the best possible decision. But FS are going to be super happy about it. Because the attention that NoNx were giving to the members of FS, it has eventually diverted. And the firepower is going to be in half.
NoNx versus Team Aryan versus Team FS. 3 teams going up against each other all the way towards the side of Temple. NoNx is the one with the numbers advantage, and True Rippers are the one who can take advantage of it, because they are the one on the lower ground, and the men of the teams will start their journey downhill.
Yeah.
True Rippers will be the one to take advantage of it, just like the players of OG are trying to take advantage onto the players of TWOB, who are taking the brunt of the blue. OG, they have the height advantage, and the minute Pukar and Vishu tries to go for the rotation, I think AKOP will be the one to mark an end for TWOB.
I don't think so. They'll be able to make out of it. It's a precarious position to be in, and a treacherous crowns ahead to try and traverse. Not happening for them. Maiji lost Hermanos as well, putting their own hand in that dirt to get some gold out. That's what they found. A diamond. True Rippers eventually firing on the members of Aryan. It wasn't really the best round to try and be in, though, as the circle takes another shift, and it's on the members of NoNx and FS. It is still keeping that Temple in contention. But there is this one big compound down towards the east of it, which none of the team have claimed. And this is exciting to see right now, because the first one to go there will have the massive chunk of circle to play around with, and a super solid hard cover to eventually watch your back from.
But here's the thing, everyone is just either focusing on the Temple or towards the northern side. Everyone is having a height advantage. iQOO Soul, I'm sure they're going to once again go for the southern rotation, because Knuckle along with Goblin went all the way towards the northern side. But the circle shift is going to force him to reunite with Joker and maintain the southern control. VS toward the eastern side, but Cheyenne finally gets a connection and knock and confirmation onto Neo. One by one, God's reign. They have been eliminated. Individual fights were giving, but OG going up against the players of Maiji, AKOP has been knocked out, and easy elimination point secured.
Wizgod now, the only man standing. He's got the pump shotgun up in his hands. The S686, not the best run out there for the open. A spy creates that gap and puts the man out of his misery. Through the caves they wanted to go, and in the caves they got buried. It was the cave of a lion, not a bear. The apes could not hunt him down.
MyG 5 finishes once again trying to maintain the consistency. The previous Miramar also had a great outing for the players of MyG, and now they are the one with the complete northern control of the circle. But for now, Kana with the grenade is trying to do something against the players of Team Aryan, but Devotee with the grenade, if a knock comes in, a follow-up nade will mark an end for Kana. But MyG trying to breach into the compounds of VS, as always has been knocked out. Cheyenne chipped to very low HP, but Kalan is the one going down through the hands of Cheyenne as well. MyG lost onto 2 of the players. It's only 2 players remaining. This is a fight for the eastern control of the circle.
Oh, lovely Molotov. Spy will be forced to try and get his meds on, but it's not happening. The fire on the floor is not stopping as he gets burnt alive. And it's all down to Shadow. They did get one confirmation onto Victorous Sumus, so spoiling their game even further, but how much more can they go? He's going to be confirmed as well. It's Joker to finally find that finish. Found some opening maybe. Through the window, the shots were fired, eventually getting them down. Roman, the king, left bleeding on the battlefield as his battalion run away back to safety. And it's NoNx to finally claim control of the temple. A territory Romans could not acquire. Historically correct as well, but NoNx holding that one ground now. Got all the height that they eventually need, but where is this next circle going to shift? That's going to dictate the entire game of the pace now. iQOO Soul, though, they've basically got the best spot out in this entire zone. It's only Victorous Sumus. We've got that one compound, so maybe if they're able to take them down, this could be big though. But Aryan, they're answering back onto the members of NoNx. And that could be very crucial to turn out in this game. And Onivus falls down. That's going to be a big blow to the members of NoNx. And the second confirmation should flow pretty soon as well, as Levi is still there. NoNx are bleeding. And they're bleeding from multiple wounds.
Just look at the position where iQOO Soul is. Still maintaining the entire southern control of the circle. But now Shan gets an opening onto Goblin. This is not looking good for the players of iQOO Soul. Even Devotee goes down through the hands of Kalyuk. NoNx, they are actually the ones getting all the finish points converted in the favor. They can try to do so, but Joker, the spray was precise, but the connection was not there onto the players of VS. Joker is also the one with the height advantage, but Nakul, the Batman himself, is going for the revival onto Goblin, but VS also charging in towards him, and Nakul didn't see that coming. Instant knock and confirmation onto Nakul and Goblin. Now VS are the one who have the entire southern control towards them. The next circle shift is going to be really important, as the blue is also closing in, and the blue is going to force Aryan to move out in the open. That is where the players of NoNx will shine and eliminate Aryan, the player of Team Aryan. And FS Lavish also coming under heavy fire. NoNx, they have got 4 finishes, and they can actually go for more. Top 4 teams, 7 players remaining.
The only team that they now need to worry is going to be FS. Who can eventually stop them. Or they can try and go for this rotation from a little bit more towards the north. And then take down Joker and then move forward. But hold on for that second. Viper's been taken down already. Kalyuk has also been spotted down. If he moves down with this HP, he will be destroyed. And the play zone will claim his life. NoNx falling down on 4th spot means FS have got the best ground in this entire circle. Victorous Sumus have pushed as far as they could. But they need to take care of Joker. This one man has been smart. And he has got an IQ of Albert Einstein. He moves up, gets the first knock as well. Tries to go for the second, will get the confirmation. Before the nade puts him back as FS claim the chicken dinner.
FS, they were the one having the height advantage and the information as well. Battle Royale BGMI is always a game of information, and FS had so much info. They capitalized onto it, and everyone else was in the low ground. Godex, this guy, we saw he was the one who did a 1v4 a few days back. But now, Once again, yes, they are going to be a bit disappointed, but I'm really happy to see the aggressive side which is coming nowadays from the side of VS. This time in the power play itself, VS went for the drop clash, had few good elimination points converted in their favor, and they actually survived for a very long time. Despite getting the chicken dinner, the players of FS are not that happy, I think. There is some discussion going on. Few mistakes are being pointed out.
Pretty sure they've been talking about the fight with NoNx because that's where they kind of lost the members to. And playing in a weird 1-1-2 split. But even after all of that, that split is eventually what gave them this chicken dinner, ladies and gentlemen. As we look at the final blow, Kaliuk with a nasty three-pointer on the other side. Eventually claiming the life of rest of the members as well, but over towards the end. This was where the blue was constantly pushing in, so NoNx had to eventually fall down, could not do anything because of the terrain, and over towards the end. Perfect timing to go for the third party. But actually trying to steal the finishes, eventually messed up everything. Joker managing to find all. And then the nade eventually pushing him out, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of things that we have to discuss, specifically the post-game stats, and all of that after this short break.
Cheat code, bro.
No code.
So, a script then, or a bot?
No script.
Alright, class. For today's lesson...
I already taught her something.
Bro, we're about to drop.
Just a second. I need to finish this video.
Ask Gemini on Android, it will give highlights.
Press for key highlights.
Only on Android.
TVS Raider, the wicked ride.
Real MVPs are not born. They practice every day. For OP moves on the field and in life.
Duolingo English Test. Proud supporters of dreamers and doers.
Unlock BGMI's new gold spin starting at just 10 UC. Limited time offer on Google Play.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Man, it was an absolute cinema of a game coming in, and FS eventually claiming that chicken dinner. We were not having any idea of where it's actually going to go, right? For a second, we thought it was maybe Seoul. Then I thought maybe it's going to be NoNx who will claim it, and then it eventually turned out to be FS. But a pretty solid game coming in from their side, Shadow. So that is absolutely phenomenal out here. But there's another thing that is phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen, and that is going to be the OnePlus Nord series. It has got everything that you need because it's got the segments, best in class battery as well, and you always have some pretty phenomenal FPS too. You know, the basic major things that you really need in a device, and it also comes with some great designs. You don't want to miss out on that one. But coming back onto that conversation, so you needed the chicken dinner, you definitely claimed it, but is it enough for FS? That's the question.
I think the main target for the players of FS right now is to qualify for the semi-finals, because the point difference between their position and the top 4 spot is quite heavy.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to cover up that distance. So the first goal for FS is to be in the top 12, and that is what they are maintaining. And maybe after that they can try to propel themselves in the top 4 also. But yes, chicken dinner is the way to go. This can be the start of a climb up the hill. So many things can happen in the future, but for now, FS, they needed a chicken dinner, and finally they got it. But iQOO Seoul, it looked like this is going to be the game for the players of Team iQOO Seoul, but that didn't happen at all.
It was Victor Sumus to eventually ruin all of that, right? And I think so. It was a pretty decent performance coming in for them. But overall, yeah, I think so for FS. I'm not quite sure if top 4 is either an option for any of the teams apart from top 7. Not even counting the 8th position team out here. There's only one day remaining, Shadow. And 2 games.
Possible.
Mathematically,
it's possible.
We'll let her stay in the Delulu out here. We're going to see what real thing is. And that's Cheyenne with 7 finishes, being the MVP of the previous game. 54% finish contribution out there. That means Victor Sumus actually got quite a lot of finishes in that game, right? I mean, and if your impact player is the one who's getting a lot of them, you're going to be even more happy about it. The only thing that eventually stopped them was that one fight against Joker, who eventually finished off both of the members, and then the chicken dinner went to FS, and that's why we're seeing Lovish as well with 2 finishes, because he got the final finish on to Joker with that one long-range nade. So, pretty decent performance for Victorious Sumus too, and I think so if they continue that, maybe they can end up, or rather solidify their spot even better in the top 12.
They certainly can. They can try to do so. But let's have a look at the OnePlus Never Settle moments. It all started with Revenant Expo going up against the players of Team Reckoning as well. Phrase God was the only one surviving for a very long time. He eventually did manage to get few finish points against Reckoning as well. But Maiji versus OG. This was also a pretty interesting fight which happened, where Spy was able to shut down the aggression of Maiji. But FS, since they had the height advantage, they were able to rain death and destruction towards the players of BS, and also towards iQOO Seoul, last player Joker.
That one nade, had that fight prolonged for even half a second, that would have been an absolute destruction. Few choice words being spoken by all 3 players out here, because this was definitely supposed to be one more finish out. But it's fine. In match rankings, I'm pretty sure Victor Sumus still stays on top. 28 overall finish points with 5 possession points. 33-point bomber coming in from their side. Seoul as well with 24 finishes of their own. 6 possession points, 30 overall. So we have again seeing that consistency of 30 bombers coming in, Shadow. And even after that chicken dinner for FS, it's only 14 points.
Yeah, because they do lack on the finish points. FS, they were maintaining the temple control for a very long time, and not too many fights were forced onto the players of FS. That's the reason that not so many finish points are being accumulated. But Marcos Gaming, once again a bad performance coming in. Medal, they were also eliminated pretty early in the game. Orangutan on the 13th spot with just a single point. TWOB. I did mention that they are all the way towards high-octane. It can be a good game for them, but taking fights and winning fights is a bit challenging. Seems like I was true. I was correct.
I kind of agree on that one. Again, bit of problems coming in out here for a lot of these teams. Genesis Esports eventually being in that top 4 as well. God's Reign, Revenant X Park, iQOO Seoul. They're all up top in this leaderboard. Orangutan not really moving or budging even an inch. Victor Sumus, who were all the way out of top 12, eventually moving inside of top 12. 394 points. Just a few more games like that and they're going to solidify that position. I was thinking and having that conversation with Phoenix as to where the cutoff for top 12 will go. And I was like, maybe it's going to go for somewhere around 405 and 410.
I'll take your word for it.
Wow. All right. I mean,
that's a first.
It actually caught me by surprise. So, yeah, you can definitely say that.
I'm a nice person.
You know what? Yeah, she is. So, ladies and gentlemen, out here, now we're constantly talking about all of these things, right? I'm pretty sure it might have made you hungry. And if you are, well, don't go anywhere. Just go on the Swiggy 99 store because you can get burgers at just ₹99. That too with free delivery. Do not miss out on that offer as we move back into the conversation, right? I was constantly talking about there were some choice words where Owace was saying some things to his teammate. I know you want to listen to that as well. And ladies and gentlemen, Surain has the answer for that.
ओएस मेरे कुछ दोस्त जो हैं वो कह रहे थे दिस इज वन लास्ट डांस, एक आखिरी मौका। विक्टोरिया समस, आपने जिस तरीके से इस मैच में परफॉर्म किया, थैंक्स टू शयान जो आपकी इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर भी हैं, यू मैनेज टू पुल ऑफ 33 पॉइंट्स। लेकिन कहते हैं ना कि पॉइंट से ज्यादा एक पॉइंट प्रूव करने वाली जो बात होती है, वो आपके पास मौका था लेकिन शायद किस्मत ने साथ नहीं दिया। बिकॉज सोल भी थी वहां पे, वो तो नहीं जीते, एफएस जीती, यू केम थर्ड, बट यू हैड दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी टू पुल ऑफ द विन।
उसमें ऐसा हो गया कि थोड़ा सा स्लाइटली डिले हुआ, वरना सोल को हम लोग बहुत जल्दी मारते और फिर शायद एफएस से हमारी फाइट होती, बट वो डिले की वजह से एफएस ऊपर आ गई और जब हम सोल को मारने गए तो उन्होंने हमें बैक स्टेप कर दिया, मतलब पीछे से मार दिया।
ओवेस, ये तीसरा हफ्ता है हमारा। पहले हफ्ते में हमें एक ओवेस दिखता था जो यहाँ पे जब हम बात करते थे तो हंसी मजाक बहुत होती थी और गेम में भी यू वर अग्रेसिव, लेकिन अब ऐसा लगने लगा है यू बिकम अ कोल्ड ब्लडेड असैसिन, क्योंकि अग्रेशन जो है अब वो सारा गेम में दिखाई दे रहा है। आई हेट इट पर्सनली। वो स्माइलिंग ओवेस जो है वो गायब हो गया।
स्माइलिंग ओवेस गायब हो गया, वो तो ठीक है क्योंकि अभी ऊपर नीचे होता है लाइफ में, जैसे अभी जो थोड़ा डाउन फेस चल रहा था, बट अभी हम लोग उसको कम बैक कर रहे हैं। जैसे हम लोग अच्छा खेलने का ट्राई कर रहे हैं, अभी थोड़ा एग्रेसिव जाने का ट्राई कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा पॉइंट्स के लिए जाने का ट्राई कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हमको सेमीफाइनल्स में जाना है। तो अभी ये लास्ट गेम भी हम थोड़ा एग्रेसिव जाने का ट्राई करेंगे।
Oveis is also mentoring all these kids जो कुछ 17-18 साल के हैं, so obviously आपके ऊपर वो जिम्मेदारी है। Oveis, I just wish you all the best, man, all the luck in the world. Always good to speak to Oveis. VS came third. क्या शायद इनकी कहानी आज बदलेगी? Will they pick up a win? पता लगेगा थोड़े टाइम के बाद when we come back after the break.
He was taken too soon.
I told him, lag, we have got Snapdragon 8 series Gen 3. Elite performance, unprecedented 144 FPS, zero stutter and heating.
And yet, he still tried.
A beautiful thing.
Unlock BGMI's new gold spin starting at just 10 UC. Limited time offer on Google Play.
How did we go from bathtub to battleground?
Gemini on Android, bro. Anything can happen.
Press to create videos.
Only on Android.
TVS Raider, the wicked ride.
Real MVPs are not born. They practice every day for OP moves on the field and in life.
Duolingo English Test. Proud supporters of dreamers and doers.
Unlock BGMI's new gold spin starting at just 10 UC. Limited time offer on Google Play.
Red Bull gives you wings.
A last dash for the second last day of the league stage, ladies and gentlemen, as these teams will play one last time on an Erangel. And then from tomorrow, we'll only have 4 more games remaining for the Group C teams, as Group A and B will only have 2 each. Having a look at the schedule one more time, and one last time for the evening. Aryan picking up the chicken dinner for the first one, then Godlike, and then it was FS in a surprising turn of events. Will we see another surprise right now? That's going to be the big question, as the fight is for that trophy.
Well, certainly the fight is for the trophy, and top 4 teams, they are going to qualify for the grand finals directly. Revenant X Park can be one of them.
One of them indeed, and they have an idea for that. But if you guys have got any kind of idea and you want it to be created, make sure you talk about it to Gemini and you can get some videos and anything created. But ladies and gentlemen, out here. If you want to focus down on some of those teams as well, like Godlike, maybe Soul, one more time, one last time, you've got that multicam feature too. Make sure to check all of that out before we move on, before we head on to this last game. OG as well, Shadow. Not really the best possible game in the previous one.
But at least they are sitting at a decent spot in the overall ranking. Can't say the same thing for the players of Crore at this point, because Crore they really want to climb up the ladder, and so do the players of God's Reign. Actually, God's Reign is still in the top 4. They have got a bounty on their heads, but the last match of the day, that is going to be Erangel. It's already started. It's about to start. The flight path will be on our screens very soon. All the 16 teams are ready. Hero Extreme Godlike, they had a chicken dinner today. FS, they had a chicken dinner today. A good comeback day for so many teams, but the big blue bird for the last Erangel of today has already hit the sky. All the 16 teams are ready and looking pretty happy and prepared for this one last fight of the day. Marcos Gaming, a name still struggling, but the flight path is also really important and is going all the way from the side of Yasna Poliana towards the southern side of Hospital.
But northern tilted plane fly path, not really a lot of room to work with if you're the team from Group B who likes to jump in the military base, quote unquote. We've seen God's Reign, whenever this kind of flight path hops in, they end up going towards north, maybe towards Zarki. It's possible that they might want to take the same path again, because if they decide to go all the way down south, we will potentially see Revenant X Park ready to camp for them. There was a time in the past as well when we saw Manya-led Soul hunt down the members of God's Reign once they were rotating all the way from military base back to up top out here right now. But there's another hunt going on, and that's the drop clash. Marcos Gaming, you mentioned about their struggles with Soul. Again, one of their man was still on that parachute. He's absolutely got nothing in his own hands. It's just a fight with the pistols as the confirmations flow back and forth. But it's still Soul who've got the better end of the stick.
iQOO Soul, the drop clash seems like is going in their favor. Two of the players are still down on their knees and they have to go for the revival. Legit, all he has got is just a pistol in his hands. Marcos Gaming, what's really happening wrong with the players of Marcos Gaming? They have already lost under 2 players. Yes, the weaponry advantage is not there. HP advantage is also not there. Finally, a bait situation and the dagger to the heart of Noddy will take him down. Choker, my man, such a beast. 3 finishes by the impact player himself. He's laughing, and lad, you have earned this laugh. You have done everything to laugh at the situation. It was not possible. It didn't look like Legit can pull that off, and that too when he had no weaponry.
Big one coming in from that man, and that revival was just so crucial. You only have enough bullets to take one of the members down out there, and after that, nothing. Aryan as well. Right now on kind of a receiving end of the spectrum where Revenant Park is drop clashing against their side. Already losing on Devotee. And we've been mentioning about it multiple times where Devotee has always been like the first casualty of this team. So that is a problem. You've got to work around with it, but on the back of that fight now, Soul has moved up in the rankings. It's Revenant X Park who are now trailing on the 2nd place. Soul is on the 1st one, so that is big.
You know what? Just have a look at the circle. It's a completely southern circle. There are only 2 teams inside the safety of the circle. One is God's Reign, because it's a military-based circle. Obviously, God's Reign will be there. And the other one is VS. Rest of the teams, all the teams, are outside the safety of the circle. And seems like in the last map of Erangel, everyone wants to go for the power play points. So do the players of Reckoning against the players of Metal Esports. Venom out in the open has been knocked and confirmed pretty easily.
It is safe to say that at least historically speaking, God's Reign will not get the chicken dinner in this one.
They might actually, because everyone is busy fighting amongst each other.
That is the whole point. That is exactly what happened the past 2 times. The only,
you know what,
overcommitment
I
that they
think God's
do,
Reign will get a chicken dinner.
I mean, you know, if they fix that one small mistake that they have made multiple times, and that is they overcommit too much onto clearing their backlines, that they eventually fail to realize that the zone in front of them has moved away. And there's someone else who's already utilized the best parts of the zone. So they face those problems, and then their individual players get picked off, and they lose out on that opportunity. So if they fix that, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be their chicken dinner game. And I like the split that they have brought in, though. We'll talk about that in a second as Fierce getting Aryan down. Individual fights being awarded, individual fights being won. And on the back of it now, it's also the members of Apes. The Ape family is here to third party this fight. They've known this happens for quite a while now. Fury gets another knock on to one member of Aryan. It's only the last one remaining. As Apes have joined into this action as well after looting down the Rozhok path. So they will have the loot for this fight. And things are looking bleak for Revenant X-Pac.
RNTX recently, there is a dip in the performance, but let's be honest, they are sitting on a very comfortable spot in the overall ranking. It was the first spot, but now they are down to the second spot. But let's see. RNTX, I don't see any major reason to rectify anything. Maybe they are on the experiment phase right now, trying to experiment something new before the grand finals. Highly possible. But like you mentioned, OG is also there for the third party. 3 strong teams. God's Reign, OG, RNTX. Trying to aim for the chicken dinner. But for now, even the plus of Team Aryan are also in the close proximity. And seems like Sensei is aware about the position of Henry very much. The grenade being launched. No connection. The sticky grenade. I doubt if it will connect.
It did reach there, but
Henry is on the other corner of the building. So he's pretty much safe.
Not really going to work. Now on the back of it, you've got Apes as well who are slowly and steadily tightening the grip around you. You've got to be careful about that as well. And if you're looking at the map feed, down south is where God's Reign are, TWOB. They've also rotated early. They're camping the bridge over towards the farm, and they're just holding their own ground down out here right now, though. It's FS locking horns against the members of Seoul, who already lost one member out here. Knuckle being knocked out, that's a big problem. Legit, as long as he stands, all the problems will nullify. This man is who you need to be warmed up. Goblin as well repositions at the perfect time. Roman not getting anything from that nade. As it's going to be a 2v2 down. Another knock coming in. Goblin and Legit are working together, destroying the members of FS. The nade being lobbed in perfectly. As it's Goblin to hold strong and save the lives of Seoul. 8 finishes already in the power play. They are getting ready for a nuclear performance.
This is a different version of iQOO Seoul, which we are witnessing. Completely different form of Goblin. Because if you remember, Goblin, when he was an impact player, the performance was lacking. But now Metal Esports are ready to pounce upon the players of iQOO Seoul. There is no time for the reset. They have to go for the revival. They have to patch themselves up. But seems like Metal Esports, they are not going to give enough time to the players of iQOO Seoul to go for the reset. The grenades are ready in the hands of Termi. If the connection comes in, this might mark an end for the players of iQOO Seoul.
One of the big things is that it's still Legit and Goblin who are still alive. So it should really be fine. As long as these two people can hold on. You've already done it once. Can you do it again? They're both up in front. Not a lot of HP to work with for Legit, so it's everything that should be counted. And the longer you stay, the more Blue is going to deal damage to you. Goblin up on that rooftop. He can hear everything. He knows everything. And he can see everything. Players are still not really moving out forward. Now they've made their move. Legit, he's going to take the first contact out there. Into that squad house itself. Kind of a crossfire with Goblin if he's up on the first floor.
Whoa.
Doesn't matter. With the shotgun coming in of Goblin. Taking one down though. Legit on the other side. Gets in the loot from the crate. Sends out a molly. Goblin is up. He can't really be given the revival out there though. Nades being thrown in. Doors being broken by those shotgun shells. But still, nothing being gained apart from that. Still need to land in some shots. 8 bullets in the magazine. And Legit will finally prioritize the health as well.
S12K, the best possible option to have in this situation when you are completely outnumbered. But Legit is also going to go for the revival onto the fallen comrade. On the other side, if you notice the HP of Termi, he also needs to patch himself up. This is the moment Legit can strike. He strikes hard and takes down all two. Aimbot gets a counter knock onto Legit, gets a confirmation. Goblin, the only man standing. The hip fire is there from Crore. Not gonna really work for him. And Aimbot, this guy, just like his name, has got a very good aim. 3 finishes towards the side of Medal Esports. And Aimbot is also the impact player. So that means 2 finishes by him will reward him 4 points.
It was down to the last 1v1. Eventually Aimbot besting out Goblin. Medal were almost thrown out. But because of that prolonged fight now, not quite sure if they'd have enough meds and everything, or even enough time to loot everything and then move on, right? Because the blue is going to strike in about 35 seconds. Victor Sumus eventually getting caught in that bridge camp of Likitha Esports, who are now answering back, instantly taking one. Also want to try and move a little bit far forward. See Cheyenne on the other side of the stairs. Yeah. He's been spotted. Starboy knows his position. Now and under the bridge. Pro's been confirmed as well. So Victor Sumus are now losing members. I thought always said he was going to show us aggression.
RNTX up against the players of team Orangutan. The Ace versus RNTX. Let's see. The flames are there and RO is literally burning in the flames. He needs to patch himself up, but the problem is the blue is also closing in. Fury still holding on to a very close angle. The DBS this time is not going to help him out at all because AK will shut him down. And look at Trace God.
Yeah,
in the last 2 games, if you notice, Trace God is always the one surviving till the very end. He's the impact player also, by the way.
He is the impact player, and also at the same time, he doesn't really want to give the bounty away.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he's swimming all the way to the other side now. Whereas God realizes that Trace is in the water. He's got to make his appearance anytime soon, and this was not the time to switch the screens. But it's fine.
He's surviving. He has swimmed away till the circle. Trace is fine for now. For now being the keyword.
Exactly. But I think so, yeah, he's going to be fine either ways. OGs have decided to just leave Aru there, and the rest of the members will be going on for the rotation. We'll get some of the crucial loots in as well. And Trace God just drowns himself. The man thought that he can reach the other shore without needing to take another breath. Either way is a win-win for his team. They won that early first fight with Aryan, and then out here is where problems began. Like the Esports now, you've got another problem on your door, and that's going to be the members of NoNx as Viper strikes the first one. Watch catch the second as well, and will do the job. Well done, completed. Likitha Esports sent back home packing.
Cheyenne, the crosshair is locked onto him, a Viper. And NoNx, the way these guys are holding on to the bridge area, they have to make sure that they themselves need to go all the way to the other side of the bridge, towards a military base. But for now, OG, AKOP seems like NoNx, they are charging in towards him. AKOP 3 finishes, S12K in his hand. Can he do something? And seems like no is the answer, as Kaliug will take him out. 3 finishes towards the side of NoNx, but now the remaining players of 4G might charge in towards NoNx. But no, they're actually prioritizing the rotation as Aru has been knocked out from a moving vehicle. A counter knock onto towards Kana is also there from Atanki. This is not looking good for either of these teams.
OG is already done and dusted. The big question is, was the bounty claimed by the members of NoNx? They do have 5 finishes, but 2 of them were for Likitha. So I'm pretty sure Shayan has stolen one of those finish away. So no bounty being claimed for them at least. OG missed out on their bounty on Revenant X Park as well, even though they wanted to camp them early on at the early stages. So it's only going to be the members of NoNx who would eventually make their move now. Do they have enough utilities or no? That's the big question as Shayan out here knocking another. This bridge has become the Hell's Bridge. It's a facade that leads to hell and not heaven. You cannot cross.
I'm going to ask you a question once again. Who do you think is getting a chicken dinner in this one?
Crore.
I go with God's Rain. Although I like Yulamo, he's a great guy. I would love if he gets a chicken dinner, but I really think God's Rain can get this one.
True.
Just to prove you wrong.
Go for it.
And of course, I like Destro also. A great IGL.
They're still holding it down because of the bridge fight, right? They have to make sure that their backlines are clear. And the longer they stay, the more problematic it's going to become as the circle will shrink further and further. Shayan's been taken down finally. Should be done and dusted. But there's also one player rotating in. That's going to be Kalyug. It's already moved far up, and I don't think so New has an idea about that.
Altu. Middle, so close to the players of TWOB. They both are trying to maintain the eastern control of the circle. And in trying to do so, there is a very high chance that TWOB can lock horns against the players of Middle Esports. Because Reckoning, if you notice, they are left with only one single player. NoNx, they are only left with one single player. So the entire southern control is towards the side of True Rippers, who are going actually in the direction of my G.
I thought that maybe they would end up in some of the compounds of military base, maybe in the police station or somewhere around that area. But
True Rippers love going in for that hill contestation, always in these kind of circles.
And to be honest, MyG lost Hermanos is also respecting that. They don't really want a fight there. They've given up that space for such an easy manner. I wasn't really expecting to see that happen out there, but this is the contest you mentioned. Medal against TWOB. And TWOB haven't really looked good in their fights either. So Medal, even though they are 3 members, I would still give them the advantage, considering the performance of Aimbot and Termi.
I still think it's going to be a God's Rain chicken dinner. I'm manifesting it. And to be more specific, just look at the circle. God's Rain are the only one towards the northern side. They can actually go for the control of the uphill areas. MyG is close to the players of True Rippers, where we also have the last man from the side of NoNx. TWOB is so close to the players of Metal as well. So these all teams will go up against each other. Godstrin is the only one having that entire northern control. If at all Godstrin goes for a eastern western control or give individual fights, that's the only possible way for Godstrin to not get a chicken dinner in this one. And look at Delta. The circle is still favoring him.
They'll now have to focus down on the entire western line. So you've got some of the stranglers as well, so it could be problematic for them right now. TWOB pretty happy about where this next circle has taken the shift. True Rippers as well. They will try and take contest of this one. Hell as Medal will take the fight against TWOB, but not really fully committing onto that. They've got another one barging onto their doors, and that's going to be the members of TR. So Medal have decided to retreat from this fight. They're giving away the space. They're falling back. The shots are being fired and the members are retreating. They're just going to push them back. And again, this is the tendency of True Rippers carrying that one big hovercraft every single where. Specifically in these last few circles. They absolutely enjoy that tank.
Of course they do. And whenever they have the control of that hovercraft, they tend to get the chicken dinner as well. But this time, True Rippers are also the silent forces. Because look at that. 0 finishes. They were the one prioritizing the rotation in the circle. But since they are close to the players of TWOB in middle, there is a very high chance that they might have to go for a fight. Especially if you look at Hydro. He has got the control of the 7-star towards the military base. Javin all by himself going in the direction of the players of MyG, by the way.
Kalag has been taken down. MyG lost Hermanos. Kalan claiming that one finish. One Strangler taken care of. The second one spotted as well. Hydro also knows where Javin is playing, so not quite sure if he's actually going to survive out from this one. Now I do like the idea from True Rippers of what they're trying to pull, considering they didn't really have a lot of high ground first, so they wanted Hydro to be there to give the support from the backline while also making sure that they are not getting backstabbed. But I think so it's about time that he should get down and meet with his team to play together. Oh, Kalan. He's moving up forward. Noted down the players as well of God's Reign now. MyG lost Hermanos ready to take this fight.
For sure, they are ready. And even the players of God's Reign also look ready. They have got enough loot in their hands. But look at the position where Zyrex is. He's trying to provide all the backline support. It's a 1v2 situation for Neo at this point. Grenades are being cooked. But it is the AEG in the hands of Neo. He's trying to pip a few bullets towards the side of Spy. But Kalan rethinks about his decision to use a grenade in the situation. Maybe they're just waiting for the next circle shift. Because it is going to come in about 20 seconds.
Highly possible. They don't really want to fully commit on to this fight before seeing where the circle is going to form. But I think so this was really one of the best times for them to do that. Because regardless of where the shift is, if it's onto them, then there would be teams coming in on their position from the other directions. If it's not onto them, then even better, because the conclusion's going to let you lose and move to the other paths. TWOB still being in the contestant. Destra has got that kill, so he will have that advantage for his team. But the rest of the members will also have to take care of MyG lost Hermanos. Javin finding himself in the smack center. Not quite sure for how long will he stay alive there. True Rippers will also take the position down south of TWOB.
Just look at the amount of finishes which the surviving team have. Medal 3, TWOB 3. And that's the maximum we have.
Yeah.
God's Reign 2, Reckoning 1, but he's a single player. LHS just 1 and True Rippers 0. So that means all the teams who were not committing to the initial fights at the start of the game are the only ones surviving till the last.
But that's the whole point, right? I'm pretty sure that...
And they're still trying to go for the same approach. That's the problem, Scared.
Yes, and this is exactly what I wanted to mention. Out of these 6 teams, maybe only 2 of these teams will potentially see move up in that ranking. Rest of them will be on the latter half of the leaderboard. That is going to be problematic out here right now. Hydro has been taken down. MyG lost Hermanos already having an advantage of one member out there, but they themselves are losing their own boys. God's Reign finally. And it looks like this is their game now. Everything falling to fruition. MyG lost Hermanos are losing numbers. Reckoning Esports has also been eliminated. MyG lost Hermanos as well, saying bye-bye. True Rippers with 3 members. And TWOB have just decided to make home off, cook food in, spend the rest of the 60 years of their life in that exact same compound.
So do the players of True Rippers. It's just that they don't have the compound.
At least they're moving from one place to another.
Doesn't matter. 0 finishes.
Yeah, but they're taking the map space.
Not really. They are on the periphery of the circle towards the southern eastern side.
They kind of
How are they taking the real estate control?
Yeah, because Hydro was on the other side and then Jelly was all the way towards the south. So they
that was still on the edge of the circle. Just wait, God's Reign is getting a chicken dinner. They are the actually one who are going for the fight. 3 finishes secured. And now going up against the players of Metal Esports. Now here's the thing. Metal Esports, they are on the lower ridge. And Metal God's Reign, they have the height advantage. But a single grenade or a Molotov can actually be deadly for the players of God's Reign. And seems like Metal Esports, they are quite short on that. Aimbot having just a single nade. Even Termi, a single grenade and a Molotov. But if used to the perfection, Medal can actually have an upper hand in this fight.
It's going to be very difficult, to be honest, because they do not have the terrain. It is absolutely atrocious for them. An uphill battle, metaphorically and literally, and now God's Reign, they've decided to move up. It's a dip that they're all playing in. That could be deadly if one very nicely cooked nade falls up, but they're finally switching their own positions as well. A little bit late on that nade as they finally find the players rotating backwards to the circle. Not really onto the members of God's Reign, and they have got one casualty. A knock coming in, but doesn't matter. They answer back on the other side instantly, but hold on, True Rippers, they go for the third party, and they're destroying God's Reign! It's only one member remaining. Only Justin who can try and survive, and he can watch the game with his team. From the backlines, a nasty performance. True Rippers, the third party kings, come alive again.
Well, certainly they do. But Jelly, with the vehicle runover, also gets a confirmation point. Medal, they have been eliminated on the third spot. But now we have got the plus of TWOB going up against the plus of True Rippers. TWOB, they have the numbers advantage and they have the maximum real estate control as well. It can actually be a chicken dinner game for the plus of TWOB as well. True Rippers, they are outside the safety of the circle, but they have got the hovercraft. QLMO's position has already been compromised. The smoke cover is there. But let's see if Mac can actually do something, because he's the one going for the flank angle to get the information onto the plus of True Rippers at this point.
This could be a very big game coming in for TWOB Shadow, because this could be that very first chicken dinner that they've been looking for. I know this is not really going to help them propel in the top 12, but it still would mean that it's going to be big, massive out here, the fight uphill. Are we still taking it down to Hirsch, the man who was 1v4ing my Los Hermanos previously? If there's any man who can ruin the dreams of TWOB, then it's going to be him. And right now it's all down to Pucar to try and hold his ground down. Shelly behind the hovercraft. Vishu's cover means absolutely nothing. True Rippers are actually winning this fight.
Two last players standing from the side of True Rippers. Their position has been compromised, but it is Pucar who is actually going for a close frontal battle. Confirmation point has already been secured onto Avi, and Mike has already been eliminated. It's a 2v2 battle. Vishu on the other side. Nades being lobbed to get a connection towards the side of Harsh, but a chip damage towards Pucar.
Knock.
And Pucar Nade gets a knock onto Harsh as well. It's only one last man standing, and it is TWOB coming on the top. Finally a good game. I expected a good game in Sanhok, but it is actually the last Erangel. Everyone is clapping for the players of TWOB because they all know, all the 16 teams we have, they know how much capability does Pucar have. The struggles were real, and this chicken dinner was due from a very long time.
Finally, TWOB getting one for themselves. Just as you mentioned, those claps meant everything. Even the opponents were clapping for them, man.
Yeah.
That was absolutely insane. Beautiful moment coming in as we have a look at the final blow one more time. I have to say, this was supposed to be a God's Reign game, but then True Rippers with that third party, that was the main game changer. Immediately hopping in and destroying the hopes of God's Reign, then almost stealing it away from TWOB as well in a 4v3 disadvantageous spot, I'd have to say. But the entire fight was outside of the zone.
BGMS सीजन 4 ये तीसरा हफ्ता है, ये 80th मैच था. मैं बस इंतजार कर रहा हूँ कि अभी आ रहा है. मैं एक्चुअली चुप रहूंगा क्योंकि इससे पहले कि मैं कुछ कहूँ, मैं अभी का वेट करूंगा so that I can actually start the conversation. बहुत important conversation है. अभी आप यहाँ आए, अब मैं ये अपनी स्पीच जो वापस कर सकता हूँ. BGMS सीजन 4 80 मैचेस 3 हफ्ते, इनका ये 56वां मैच था. अभी इतनी देर बाद आए लेकिन दुरुस्त आए. योर फर्स्ट चिकन डिनर ऑफ दिस सीजन. कुछ ज्यादा टाइम लग गया यार.
टाइम तो काफी लग गया था. मतलब अभी आज मैं भी पुकार को कह रहा था कि ऑलमोस्ट खत्म होने है, एक चिकन तो मारते. तो अभी लास्ट गेम के पहले ही मैंने बोल दिया था कि ये गेम चिकन आ रहा है, और काफ़ी लेट हुआ बट ठीक है, अभी टूर्नामेंट ख़त्म नहीं हुआ है, अभी यहाँ से पता नहीं मोमेंटम पकड़ते देखते हैं आगे क्या होगा।
जितने सीजन से मैं यहाँ पे आ रहा हूँ, मैंने आपको देखा है, पुकार को देखा है, यू गाइस आर वेटरन्स ऑफ दिस गेम। 6-7 साल से आप ये गेम जो है वो खेल रहे हैं, लेकिन अब हम जब अगले स्टेज की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, 4 टीमें जो हैं वो ग्रैंड फाइनल्स जाने वाली हैं, 5 से 12 जो पोजीशंस होंगी वो खेलेंगी अगला स्टेज। अब क्या एम है आपकी टीम TWOB का?
एम हमारा वही था कि अभी मतलब बहुत हम लोग गंदा ही खेल रहे थे, तो फिर मैंने बोला कि अभी थोड़ा जो भी मैचेस बचे कोऑर्डिनेशन बढ़ाते अपना और फिर खेलते आगे के लिए, कि अगर जैसे अभी प्लेऑफ्स है तो फिर प्लेऑफ्स के लिए रेडी करें, क्योंकि अभी जैसे हर टीम फाइट करी है इनिशियली, तो प्लेऑफ्स में मेरे को पता है होल्ड गेम प्ले होने वाले, तो इसके लिए मैं बोला कि एंड जोन खेलते थोड़ा तो कोऑर्डिनेशन बढ़ेगा ताकि प्लेऑफ्स में गलती ना हो
यार, क्योंकि अब अगले स्टेज में शायद रीसेट भी हो जाए और उसके वजह से आपको नए सिरे से शुरुआत करनी पड़ेगी। हमने देखा है कि कुछ टीम्स जो शायद उतना अच्छा परफॉर्म नहीं कर रही, रीसेट के बाद वो अच्छा कर जाती हैं, एंड जो अच्छा कर रही थी वो बुरा कर रही हैं। सो आर यू वरीड अबाउट द सिनर्जी विद इन योर टीम?
वरीड तो नहीं हूँ, मतलब मैं एकदम प्रेशर लेस ही खेलूंगा, मेरे को उतना कुछ है नहीं, अभी हमको पता है कि कर लेंगे प्लेऑफ्स में, मैं उतना वो नहीं है, प्रेशर नहीं है।
कल टीम्स को टारगेट करोगे?
कल से ऐसा वही अभी नेचुरल गेम ही खेलेंगे, मतलब एंड तक सर्वाइव करके खेले ताकि प्लेऑफ्स में कोई वो ना हो।
Alright, lovely. TWOB 55 मैचेस के बाद इन द 80th मैच ऑफ BGMS सीजन 4 ये बन रहे हैं एक चिकन डिनर के हकदार। एवरीवन, ओह माय गॉड, भाई आंसू, व्हाट अ मोमेंट। ये सारे जो अभी कुछ देर पहले तक लड़ रहे थे उनकी खुशी में शरीक हो रहे हैं। व्हाट अ विन एंड व्हाट अ वे टू एंड दिस डे। लेकिन लेंगे छोटा सा ब्रेक एंड कॉन्वर्सेशंस ऑन द अदर साइड विद आवर फ्रेंड्स इनसाइड द स्टूडियो।
Bro, we're about to drop.
Just a second. I need to finish this video.
Ask Gemini on Android, it will give highlights.
Press for key highlights.
Only on Android.
TVS Raider, the wicked ride.
Real MVPs are not born. They practice every day. For OP moves on the field and in life.
Duolingo English Test. Proud supporters of dreamers and doers.
Red Bull gives you wings.
He was taken too soon.
I told him, lag, we have got Snapdragon 8 series Gen 3. Elite performance, unprecedented 144 FPS, zero stutter and heating.
And yet, he still tried.
A beautiful thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, a video that we never thought was going to play, at least in the league stage, has finally played as well, and everything came to fruition. It was TWOB to bag their first chicken dinner after such a long wait. 3 weeks, Shadow. It took them 3 weeks to finally bring the first one home.
But let's be honest here, we have seen struggles in so many tournaments for so many teams. But how many times have you seen a struggling team getting a chicken dinner and everyone in the arena clapping for them?
I'd have to drink Bisleri water first before answering that question, ladies and gentlemen. And you should also drink it up right now, because I'm pretty sure after that, everyone is going to do that. Yes, every single team started clapping for the members of TWOB. Half of it, you could say, was a little bit of fun banter, fun mockery as well. But most of it was admiration that, all right, finally, you've achieved what you guys wanted to achieve, right? Imagine everyone's fighting for a trophy, someone's fighting for top 4, someone's fighting for top 12, and then TWOB is fighting for the chicken dinner.
I don't think there was any bit of mockery. That was just the respect which Pukar has earned, and everyone loves him. That's why everyone was waiting. They knew Pukar is capable of doing so much, and that's the reason that they clapped, because finally the guy is getting a chicken dinner. But someone who was also shining in the game is Justin from the side of God's Trail, because he's the MVP, and the finisher has to be Vishu from the side of TWOB. Legit is the best companion from the side of iQOO Soul. iQOO Soul also struggles in a few games, but at least they get the average points in every single game. But you know what? I really want TWOB that this game should be the catalyst for them to go up higher in the overall ranking, because TWOB, you remember Pukar earlier in the previous season of Master Series, he was with Carpe Diem and he was bringing such good numbers on the table. So Pukar is capable of being in the top 4 and qualifying for the grand finals. Yes, the matches are few limited, but I'm sure this guy can make it to the grand finals through the playoffs.
I mean, it's only 3 games that were remaining for his team before the previous one. Now it's only 2, because they're all, again, a part of Group B out here, right? But the action kicked off in a pretty attacking fashion out there, as S8QL eventually eliminating not one, but rather 2 squads out in the early game itself. So getting a lot of points in terms of those finishes as well. Not really getting those position points. Eventually, another, I would say, third party from middle finally put them to rest. But they also, again, had to run for their own money, because it was down to the last 1v1. Import up against top lane, which was, pretty scrappy. But the constant left and right jiggle is where eventually Import won in that fight. But yeah, S8QL or Soul did their own job that they really wanted to do, eventually getting all the points that they really need. And then TWOB over towards the end, just finishing off the members of True Rippers to finally secure that one chicken dinner which they were waiting for.
Finally, the chicken dinner is there, but let's have a look at the match ranking. It is actually True Rippers getting 27 total points. They did finish off a bounty team as well, so 10 extra bounty points also to the plus of True Rippers. TWOB, yes, they got the chicken dinner, a very high fragging game, total of 24 points to their name. iQOO Soul, 22 finish points. Just look at that, Scared.
Big. Another massive game again, and I'm pretty sure they had 8 finishes overall. So from just 8 finishes, they managed to grab 22 finish points. Now, you can keep on doing the math as to how many they got in power play. Everyone was in power play. And then they had a few extra finishes by their impact player as well. That was Joker. So, all of that combining up pretty well. OG having 6. MyG lost Hermanos, Likitha Esports 7 points each. I don't think so those 6 to 7 points are going to be enough though. That's going to be the big thing. Top 4 changing one more time. 54 games being played by all the top 4 teams. It's Soul, Revenant X-Park, God's Reign and OG. But the gap between 3rd and 4th place is concerning. That's where the big difference is being made, as again, from 4th to 7th, it's same. So any team from 4th to 7th can end up in the top 4.
Even for the players of True Rippers, it is possible. Metal Esports sitting on the 9th spot with 432 points. Global Esports, at the start of the day, they were somewhere in the top 8. Now on the 10th spot with 427 points, because today's game were not really that great for the players of Global Esports, and same goes for the players of 8-bit. Yes, they are struggling, but TWOB on the bottom, but I'm sure this team is going to rise up from here. But I'm not sure when the players of Phoenix Esports are going to rise from their ashes because their struggles have been real. They're sitting on the 23rd spot. And Phoenix is also one of those teams which is capable of converting games in their favor.
Now the only question is if they'd be able to find their own momentum, find their own footing, right? Because it's not even like they've got a lot of games remaining. If you're Group A and if you're Group B, and that is exactly what TWOB is in Group B, yeah, you only have 2 more games for tomorrow and nothing apart from that. Then you have to prepare for playoffs, and that's just 4 games in one single day. And you will be placed with top 4 teams from BGCS, ladies and gentlemen. So that's also something you'd have to be careful about, because we know some big names would be hopping up from there. At least that's what the expectation says.
Highly possible. 2 big names we already know which are most definitely qualifying for the BGMS from CS. But let's have a look at the TVS Radar most wicked player. Edwino is actually topping the chart with 94 finishes, and this guy has played 2 less matches than Legit of iQOO, who is on the 2nd spot.
Hunters as well hopping in on that 3rd one with just 52 games and 92 finishes. I mean, the averages all of these players are putting is insane. A massive fall off from AKOP being at the 1st spot to now in the bottom 5 of the top 10 list. So that's something that have to be kind of focusing on, because you need this man to fire up on all the cylinders so that eventually this team can move all the way back up where they were, since the starting of the tournament. But ladies and gentlemen, we talk about the OG top performer who has consistently rated every match for points, and just like his team now, the Wicked Rides leveled up. The Raider IG now flexes GTT and Sharp Connected Cluster with 85 connected features and best in class stock. Something you would really want to check out pretty soon out here. That's where Necro has gone, and that's why he's not here on the desk right now. But it's cool. It's absolutely fine, Shadow. Again, the top 10 list not really changing. Everything same. 4 games for Group C. That's going to be tomorrow. The main focus is going to be Godlike.
I think Hero Extreme Godlike, especially the way they got the chicken dinner today, there is a very high chance they can end up in the top 4 today.
True.
Not today, I mean by tomorrow they can be in the top 4. There is a very high chance, but so is for the players of Team Genesis as well. The top 8 teams, anyone can be in the top 4.
Yes.
So the ranking, the overall leaderboard is still very volatile. A 50 bomber game and you can be the top 4.
I mean, I don't think so. We are actually going to receive a 50 bomber game tomorrow,
Why
man.
not?
Because
You still
considering
have the impact players there, power play and boundaries.
That is true. But considering the play that most of these teams are picking up, that's where I do see that even though they've got the consistency, that 50 bomber, it's difficult. But I'm really looking forward to it. I see what you're saying and I see where you're going. So I'm looking forward to that one, just as how much I'm looking forward to the exclusive 99 rupees off coupon on Swiggy. It's only for limited time, people. Quickly scan that QR code, as we have the Swiggy 99 finishes as well. 48 times we moved over to 99 finishes. Now having a look at the blue cap holder out here. Again, it's going to go back onto the head of Admino, having those couple of games. Good amount of finishes for himself, stealing it back away. It's the Red Bull Max finishes, which we always talk about. So this man has always been shining for his roster. Even though he's not really the impact player for this weekend, he's clearly showcasing his skills.
Oh, of course. Admino, as people love calling him God Mino as well, because of the insane clutches which he brings on the table. Trace God is also one of those players from the set of RNTX, but these days he's not really performing up to the mark of the expectations which we have from him. But I can bet on one thing. Tomorrow's last game is going to be the most aggressive game.
I think so, that is true. And I will 100% agree to that. Because
that means a 50 bomber.
I'm going to look forward to it now. Hopefully we see a 50 bomber, because I'm really looking forward to it. We have seen a few teams already, but will that happen, ladies and gentlemen? That is the biggest question out here. It's going to be the last day of the league week. It's me, Skadiet, and alongside me, Shadow. We'll catch you guys on the same channel tomorrow.